Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
The Western Carolina Catamounts men's basketball team is coming to Asheville to take on the Florida State Seminoles on November 27th at the ExploreAsheville.com arena. Tickets are on sale now and include courtside lounge, reserved seats, and general admission. Visit HarrisCherokeeCenterAsheville.com.
Hi, this is Stu Rohrbaugh, and I'm running for Buncombe County Soil and Water Conservation District Supervisor in the November 5th general election. Make sure you register your vote today. Your vote counts.
This has been a public service announcement from iHeartMedia Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Sportsocracy's heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. You can weigh in on today's Power Rankings Tuesday. It is post-Monday Night Football, and Nick Sirianni has done it again, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, if I was an Eagle fan, I would absolutely hate that dude.
Oh, it's weird that you say that because we've already got Eagles fans ready to jump off of bridges all over the place. Get into the chat today here on a Power Rankings Tuesday. We'll talk about the Monday Night Football game, of course, and then go 32-1. What 2-0 teams fans are going to be upset because they didn't climb so far in the power rankings? What 0-2 teams fans are going to be like, wait, are we that good? Because I'm not really sure we're that good. But there are a lot of questions after week 2 in the NFL.
Well, I mean, I feel like there's only one way for this show to start.
Uh-huh.
And it's, you like that? You like that? Let's go. Kirk Cousins with the miracle save of a sizable wager I had on the Atlanta Falcons.
Prime time, Kirk Cousins.
That? I like that. Kirk, let's go.
Stop it. Don't give him time on the clock. And don't play prevent defense against him.
Vic Fangio, we need to have a chat on. Well, they don't have any timeouts, you're right. But if they get out of bounds, then the clock stops, and those become timeouts.
And guess who's,
I don't think he understands that for some reason.
And guess who's pretty good at that? I've seen him do it to my team a couple of times.
Kirkland Delano Cousins III.
He is quite good at that. Any leftover feelings about Kirkland? I mean, did you feel like this was the improvement you wanted to see from week to week? I mean, definitely in that last drive, you can't really complain much.
He still moves like he belongs in an assisted living facility.
Well, I mean, he never was a real mover before.
Yeah, but not like this.
Even coming out of Michigan State, that dude had lead legs.
Now he looks like he's accepting an award at the 50-yard line for what he did for the 1974 Atlanta Falcons. And that is a little unsettling to me.
Yeah.
But Atlanta, I saw what I needed to see. The defense is, you need a pass rusher bad, and Matthew Judon is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
But still managed to find a way to win. But Atlanta's not the story for me.
No, it's Philadelphia Eagles losing again at the end of a game.
You'll never win with Nick Sirianni. You just won't. You won't. And I'm going to and I thought about this last night, and I couldn't unsee it. And now I think I'm going to see it for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a discernible difference between Nick Sirianni and Dan Quinn?
No, I don't think so. I mean, other than size.
Two coaches that both got to one Super Bowl,
mm-hmm.
and the team regressed every single year that they were at the helm.
Yep.
And what you do became your undoing.
Mm-hmm.
Defense in Atlanta, offense in Philadelphia. If I have to hear one more person say, well, that loss is on Saquon Barkley. If it wasn't for Saquon Barkley, you wouldn't have been in that game.
True.
Because Jalen Hurts Lemon is not that doesn't expound upon it enough.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't buy a lemon. You bought a guava thinking you bought a lemon. Holy God, he is bad. I get, he can run.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Name me the quarterback in the history of the NFL that the best thing they did was run, and they won squat.
Yep.
I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait. Oh, he ran for 85 yards last night. Awesome. He cannot make the most basic of throws or reads with any consistent basis.
Weird. It's weird because I've heard you say this all about this one person before, Cam Newton.
They're closer than you want them
I mean, is Jalen Hurts Cam Newton?
I had never thought of it that way. I think Cam had a better arm, but they both have the same limitation. Oh, you can run. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you come up against a defense where your biggest advantage is being able to throw the ball? Because that's what it was last night. It didn't matter how many guys Atlanta sent at Philadelphia. They weren't getting close. It was comical how long he was sitting in the pocket. Couldn't do anything with it. Guys running wide open. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the All-22. Watch how many times guys got behind their guy and are just wide open.
And he just didn't let it loose.
Watch his eyes. Watch his eyes. This ain't hard to figure out. People call me all kinds of names anytime I talk about Jalen Hurts. Watch the damn film, then tell me I'm wrong. His progressions never span across an entire play. Ever. Pat Mahomes looks like a bobblehead, bouncing from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Jalen Hurts goes 1, 2, they're both on the same side of the field, and it almost never changes. And usually, when it does change, something bad happens. He's not a good NFL quarterback. He's just not. He had that 1 year, and the league has now figured him out. Atlanta, they knew damn well they weren't getting home. Why do you think they sent 4 all night long? Because they went, you can't beat us. We're dropping 7 guys. You're going to dink and dunk up and down the field, and at some point, we're going to start hitting plays.
Mm-hmm. And he did. He dinked and dunked. And one of the dinks should have been caught by Saquon Barkley. Saquon will admit that, but it doesn't change the fact that of the outcome of the game.
Saquon Barkley had a bad play last night.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts had 30.
No doubt. No doubt. I'm not saying that this is on Saquon. I'm just saying you can say Saquon should have caught that ball. And he knows he should have caught that ball.
He should have. He did the same thing I've watched probably 500 other running backs.
Right. I'm just pointing this out to say that it is still completely unfair to say that this is on Saquon Barkley.
And I have to say this, too. I was listening to Dan Patrick earlier,
mm-hmm.
and Saquon texted him personally to tell him it was not appropriate for him to come on his show today. I don't know how anybody could not like Saquon Barkley, and he's played for 2 teams that I don't love. But I love Saquon Barkley. You got much bigger problems than 1 drop from him.
Yes.
Your line's not as good as it was.
Mm-hmm.
I do not understand why on this planet none of your linemen can figure out, hey, you can't be 15 yards downfield. Like, you can't.
Would I have it 4 times last night?
Yep. And another one that wasn't called. It is death by 1,000 paper cuts. This is what bad coaches do.
Mm-hmm.
Bad coaches come in and they take a product that is a B+. And the talent of that team will push it to an A- to an A early because it's a new voice and things are better, per se. Then the things that you're actually doing to change what Philadelphia does, they start to take hold. Shane Steichen left. Shane Steichen makes Anthony Richardson look like a starting NFL quarterback, and he's not. Since Shane Steichen left, Jalen Hurts is not a top 20 quarterback in the NFL, and I would dare you to explain to me how he has.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the defense. Jonathan Gannon leaves, and everything tumbles that way.
Well, the defense has its own set of problems. that you have basically had three completely different defensive philosophies in 3 years. And now you have guys that are getting older, Brandon Graham, guys that have left, Fletcher Cox, and what you're left with is a series of young guys that don't necessarily fit into this scheme all that well. Last night, who'd they pick on? Quinyon Mitchell. Quinyon Mitchell is one of the best corners I've ever evaluated. He looked at the sideline after the third one, and I could not read his lips, but I can assume what he said of, what do you want me to do? You're dropping me 30 yards out. I can't react that fast. Because if I do and they double move me, I'm cooked. But I can't stop anything in front of me. So they're just running flag routes to the inline, and I can't do anything about it. And Vic Fangio just keeps lathering it up and doing it again. Then on the goal line, I've got 6'5" Drake London over here with the most overrated player in the NFL. I tried to tell you this 3 years ago, and everybody argued with me. Do you see it now? Big play Slay. Yeah, he is big play because big plays happen on him all the time. This Philadelphia team is grossly overrated. They have been for years. I told you this yesterday when you were, well, of course Philadelphia is going to cover. Yeah. What about this team makes you give them the benefit of the doubt? I don't get it. They let you down every time you trust them. And yet I watched the sheep just led right to slaughter last night and laughed and laughed and laughed. And before anybody says it, and I know somebody will, well, if it wasn't for the end of the last 2 minutes, we were right. Well, here's the thing. Close only counts in horse shows and hand grenades, homie. And last night, you walked away a loser, and I walked away a winner. You know why? Because Nick Sirianni has no clue how to coach an end-of-game scenario. What was the stat you told me earlier about the last handful of Eagles losses?
9 of their last, or actually in their last 9 games, the Eagles are 2-7. In every one of those has either been a fourth quarter meltdown or a lopsided embarrassment. Either you were completely out of the game or you melted down at the end of it 4 straight times. Now, their last 4 losses that they have led in the last 2 minutes. And then there it goes.
And that's what bad coaches do.
Exactly. We give the benefit of the doubt to the Philadelphia Eagles because of the talent. Because we look at the roster and goes, there's no way that anybody could screw this up.
Okay, so that talent that you're talking about,
yes.
Where is it? Everybody's saying, I hear this with Philadelphia constantly. Where is this talent?
Well, you didn't have A.J. Brown last night, but you usually do.
Okay, well, you didn't have him last night.
I get it. You have Saquon Barkley.
Okay, you got a really good running back, which that and a kicker are pretty equivalent to each other.
There's Devontae Smith, who we all feel is really good wide receiver.
So you have one wide receiver. I'm talking about going into last night.
Yep.
You had one running back, one wide receiver. What's 3? What exactly is this third thing that everybody counts on? An offensive line that's nowhere near as good as you think it is?
Probably.
A pass rush that is laughably overrated. Bryce Huff, I tried to tell you. If you think he's an everyday player, you're out of your mind. Because teams run at him constantly. Hey, what did Atlanta do last night? Ran at him every time you left him on the field. But we paid him. Oh, he's better than Hassan Reddick. Didn't want to pay Hassan. Oh, we got one over on the Jets. Nope. You've gotten the same thing through 2 weeks that the New York Jets got out of Hassan Reddick. And that is not squat. You got more snaps. Absolutely no production. Linebacking core. Bunch of guys you drafted. None of them particularly good. Couldn't stop Bijan Robinson. Couldn't tackle him. Couldn't stop Tyler Algier. Couldn't tackle him. Secondary. The Atlanta Falcons just picked you apart. I love Quinyon Mitchell, and I think Cooper DeJean will be good. Darius Slade, grossly overrated. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, grossly overrated. This team's not as good as you think. They're not as talented as you think. They're fine. Them and the Pittsburgh Steelers are way closer to each other than anybody wants to acknowledge they are. And you know what? They have a better coach than you do.
That's for damn sure. because I can't look Nick Sirianni in the face any longer, and I don't see how any Philadelphia Eagle fan can either. You got me. You had me last night. I went right down that path.
Oh, last night
Philadelphia,
I heard
the Philadelphia Eagles. You should walk away with this. They got a crippled quarterback. That team, you can't trust them. And what happened?
I think it was Fantasy Sports Radio that I had on in the Parks Ford Mobile Studio on the way home yesterday, and I heard one of their betting guys that did. He didn't say it exactly how I did, but it was basically, I'm watching the sheep get led to slaughter here because this line looks too good. It does not make a whole lot of sense. And what if Kirk Cousins is not as hurt as you think he is? What if it was just a really bad game plan against Pittsburgh because they were scared T.J. Watt was going to turn Kirk Cousins into a bouncy ball and throw him off every boundary of Mercedes-Benz Dome? And that's what it was. Kirk's decrepit in terms of ability to move. He's still real bright. He's done this for a real long time. And you handed him a ball last night and said, I dare you to beat me. And he did.
And he did.
And he did. And he did. And then when you handed the same ball to Jalen Hurts with 2 timeouts, you know what he did? Closed his eyes, chucked one in the air, and prayed to Jesus that it didn't land in the hands of an Atlanta Falcon.
Right.
And it did.
Yeah. The Philadelphia Eagles are a team that will find a way to lose a game. That's where they live now for me. How many times do you have to see it over and over and over again to go, this is just who they are? You said earlier that Nick Sirianni, you're never going to win with him.
Nope.
You're never going to win anything big with him.
Nope.
And I agree with that. The problem is they still win with him for now. To this point, he's won enough games to keep his job. But I don't know how much longer that lasts. How much longer can he keep that facade up?
Well, I'll tell you, the next 2 weeks you go to the Saints, to the Bucs. They both have more momentum than you. And I don't think you have a significant advantage in terms of coach. And that's about the only advantage you have on them. Then you go Browns. You catch one nice one with the Giants. Bengals, Jaguars, Cowboys. Those are all losable games. I'm not saying this is going to go down the path of doom and destruction, but it could.
But what good is mediocre?
There is no good to mediocre.
What?
Philadelphia's a stalwart franchise that knows this. Nick Sirianni came into this year with 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on a banana peel. We needed to see improvement. Let me ask you a question. We both think Howie Roseman's one of the best GMs in the NFL, right?
Genius.
Why do you think he brought in Vic Fangio? Did that hire really make sense? When you boil it down to who Vic Fangio is, this is a guy that does not like using young players. Notoriously in Miami, they hated him last year because he would not trust any of the young guys. He leans on vets. So I bring him into Philadelphia with a defense that's littered with young guys. Why would I do that? Because he's been a head coach in this league. Because he's been in this league for 1 billion years. And if Nick Sirianni comes out here and does Nick Sirianni things, I'm going to have to turn this over to somebody. And I wouldn't be shocked if it was Kellen Moore or Vic Fangio. You got a couple options. And I don't think that's ironic. I think it's a really smart GM going full CYA. And his A is seed pretty well. The problem is it's not with Nick Sirianni.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
Got chronic joint pain but want to avoid steroids and surgery? Take some advice from pro football legend Emmitt Smith. Call QC Kinetics.
Let QC Kinetics help you improve your quality of life with biologic therapies that get your body to repair and restore damaged tissue.
These exciting new regenerative treatments from local medical professionals can help your body heal itself with lasting pain relief.
Trust me, you want to avoid surgery if you can. Check out these biologic treatments to see what your options are.
QC Kinetics. Restorative, regenerative solutions with no downtime, no surgery, no drugs.
I'm talking about joint pain we all can relate to in your knees, your shoulders, your hips, and your lower back. They'll get you feeling good again.
Get relief now.
What are you waiting on? Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
It's the Western North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame Banquet, Sunday, September the 29th at the Omni Grove Park Inn. The event starts at 5 o'clock. This year's inductees include former Western Carolina women's basketball star Jane Arledge, former college football coach Paul Johnson, former Major League standout Cameron Maben, and legendary high school baseball coach Tom Smith. And former Asheville Citizen-Times sports editor Larry Pope will receive the Lifetime Achievement Award. Tickets are just $60 and include dinner. Get your tickets now at WNCSportsAwards.org. WNCSportsAwards.org.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dale's available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your denim. Though we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays. We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It's a Power Rankings Tuesday. Start the Power Rankings here in just a little bit. We gotta give props to the Atlanta Falcons here, but before we do, I had to bring this little comment to you from the YouTube chat. Gambit fan, not happy at all.
Well, he's an Eagle fan, so I totally understand.
And starting out the day with the fire Nick Sirianni into the sun and then fire that son into another sun just to be sure. And take that defense with him. And Jalen has one more week, and he's going to be right behind him.
That sounds about right.
It's not good times for Philly fan right now. And yes, I understand. You guys fired Doug Peterson after he won a Super Bowl. I get it. I'm just wondering how long this strings on. Is this the last chance? And what's the line? If he gets you to a playoff spot, 10 wins in a playoff spot, is that good enough to keep his job?
Nope. Not for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I wouldn't think it would be good enough for Philly fan. Is it going to be good enough for Howie Roseman?
Howie Roseman is a winner, and winners don't tend to like mediocrity. So I'm going to say that it's not.
All right. Looks like we got a super chat in the thing.
Yeah,
yep,
in the YouTube chat.
I'm waiting for the button to respond to me. Mark Bradley says, "Great win, but I do have a big issue with last night, though." It says Pitts really is a unicorn. He doesn't freaking exist in the passing game at all. Need missing person posters of rookie year Pitts.
Well, the problem with Kyle Pitts, and if you remember when he came into the draft, I said this a few times. The problem is he's not a tight end. He plays tight end. He is a matchup nightmare. He's also really hard to scheme. Because how do I use the guy that doesn't run routes particularly well? He's very large. He's very fast. He's a matchup nightmare for safeties or for linebackers. Well, teams just put corners on him. And if I have a big physical corner, he doesn't run routes well enough to separate. So I agree wholeheartedly with what he said. I do think at some point they're going to figure out how to use Kyle Pitts. Mm-hmm. I have my own philosophy of what it is, especially after what I saw from Darnell Mooney last night. Run him out of the slot. Why in the world is it so hard to figure out? I'm not saying definitively it would work. I'm asking, why are you not trying it? Because I don't know how you would defend him that way. And it kind of takes away some of the, he's not an elite route runner. He's not exactly fluid. He runs very fast in a straight line. He's not as shifty as you want him to be.
You've got to be able to take advantage somehow.
Man, if they ever figure it out.
Right.
Drake London is a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a look in his face last night when he did that little celebration that got flagged, of which, by the way, NFL officials, stop, okay? Just a little awareness of the situation. Yeah, the guy celebrated. He did something he probably shouldn't have. Just walk up to him and go, enough of that. We don't need a flag. Nobody came here to see you. Put your flag in your pocket and shut up, please.
Mm-hmm. I've been waiting to say this all day. Ron Rodgers is reading my mind. The NFC South is not the worst division of football
No, the NFC
anymore.
East is. The NFC East is, and it ain't close.
Between the Giants and the Commanders, and then now you have the way underachieving Dallas Cowboys. And apparently the Philadelphia Eagles fall right in line there. This becomes the grossest division out there.
The NFC East is the only team or the only division that does not have a team in the top 13 of the power rankings. No, Philadelphia nor Dallas are in my top 13.
Mm-hmm. Nor should they be.
Well, hold on. Let me check that again before I say that. I think I had to move one of them up.
Maybe one of them made 13.
I think one of them's at 12. They'll have a team in the top 11.
There you go. Atlanta Falcons beating the Philadelphia Eagles last night 22-21. Kirk Cousins leads them on that game-winning drive. We give him the credit for that, not like you didn't want to give Baker Mayfield the credit for getting a game-winning touchdown in his game. You're going to give it to Kirk Cousins.
Total yards.
I'm just checking. I just wanted to see if we're still talking about the same thing.
Kirk Cousins made elite throws.
He did.
To Darnell Mooney, nonetheless. So, yeah, Kirk Cousins gets the credit for that. a retread that the Chicago Bears looked at and went, I think we're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kirk was...
He was good.
He was fine for 58 minutes. He was big game Kirk in the last 2 minutes.
Yep. Let's stop with the primetime thing. I think they said last night this is now his 5th win in a row in primetime. And that seems odd.
I don't think it's 5 in a row. That doesn't sound right.
It was something like that. It was a few in a row, or it was like 4 and 1 in the last 5.
I think it's 3 of the last 5.
He was good. He was good last night. And Atlanta, that's exactly what they needed.
Mm-hmm.
That was the team. That's not completely the team. That's partially the team that I expected to see in this season. Gives me hope going forward. Should give Atlanta Falcons fans hope going forward.
And now I say this, and it's the first time I've been able to bring this out.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach Robinson, run the damn ball. Just over and over and over again. Set up play action by running the ball. Weird how that worked. Pretty good last night.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. Now, you also need to find somebody rather large-bodied to go in the middle of that defense because you can't stop the run either. But I'm looking at the NFC South now going, okay, you got the worst team in the league. The other 3 all have a little bit of scary to them.
Mm-hmm. None of them you want to play.
Oh, no, there's one I want to play.
Oh, yeah?
There's one that, and we'll talk about that when we get to the power rankings. One of them has a horseshoe so far up their keister that I don't think a proctologist could remove it.
I wonder who he could be talking about.
I have a feeling it's probably a team that Tank pulls for.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday. When we come back for the break, it'll be time to get just a bit outside.
Curtis Davis has in our YouTube chat said he's now Kirk Chains, and I think I can get down with that.
Let's do that. I like it. Where will Kirk Chains, and the Atlanta Falcons fall in the power rankings? We'll find out after just a bit outside next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wet afternoon, but I think the steadiest rainfall now tapers off to more scattered stuff in the next couple of days. Scattered showers, a few thunderstorms. I mean, there might be a pocket or two of heavier rain as our low continues to spin out. 70 degrees today, tonight in the low 60s. Still that chance of some wet weather. Wednesday morning, some fog, and as we go through the day, some scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, 75. Some lingering wet weather Thursday. Friday, though, sunshine returning and a high close to 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Marion Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Are you tired of the slow, slimy process at other dealerships? Come on down the mountain to Marion Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where we're Cheetah fast. Jeep Adventure Days and Ram Power Days with unbeatable leases on all new Jeep Wranglers and Ram 1500s. Visit us at 44 Worley Road or online at MarionCDJR.com.
We're just days away from our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
The biggest headliners in live music will be taking over T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas.
Plus, some special surprises and moments you are not going to want to miss.
Stream only on Hulu this Friday and Saturday, starting at 10:30 p.m.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
It's easy to make excuses about not losing weight. I'm too busy. That's a popular excuse, but at PhD Weight Loss, they've taken care of that. One of the main things that PhD Weight Loss patients credit with their success, it's having the support that they needed day in and day out. You'll always have an entire team of experts to help you consider what you eat and when you eat, so you don't have to spend any extra time thinking about it. They help you recalibrate your body and your mind, especially when you get busy and have more on your schedule. No shots with side effects, quick fixes, or gimmicks. PhD founder Dr. Ashley Lucas holds a PhD in sports nutrition and chronic disease, and she's a licensed registered dietitian. She devised a plan to help you drop the pounds, get healthier, and never have hunger pangs. And she made sure that you have the support needed while you're on your journey. Start today at PhD Weight Loss. Call now, 828-552-3333. That's 828-552-3333. Or go to myphdweightloss.com.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is ESPN Asheville and the Wake Forest Demon Deacons in the news today because they broke an unwritten rule.
They did the thing you don't do.
Says Lane Kiffin, head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels. So this past weekend, Ole Miss was up in town. We were going to go to that game. So glad when we saw the final score that we didn't go to that game.
Yes.
After the Rebels trounced the Deacons 40-6. Now, next year, Wake Forest was going to have to go down to Oxford and get waxed again, and they went, no,
Well, I mean, they would have had to have played Jackson Dart because he'll be too busy as the reigning number 1 overall draft pick playing for the Carolina Panthers.
Yes, so, very true.
I mean, okay, now they do have 2 more quarterbacks, so probably wasn't going to go particularly your way either.
But they've broken off the contract, so they were supposed to do the home and home thing. Ole Miss came up here and they went, you know what, we're not doing that again. So they bought themselves out of the contract, which apparently has cost them $750,000 to do so. And, I mean, come on. Stop doing this. First off, don't sign the contract. If you didn't want to play them, don't sign the contract. Look, I get you probably signed this contract 10 years ago when they were just a middling team, and you went, you know what, that might be a good SEC win we can pick up. Lo and behold, 6 years pass, and all of a sudden they're the hottest team in the country, scoring 87 points a game. You have to take your lumps. To me, I mean, that's my feeling on it. Of course, as somebody who's a fan of a team that's had this happen to them several times, it ticks me off every time somebody backs out of a contract with the Georgia Bulldogs. Of just take your lumps, man. You're going to get the check.
Well, I mean, and this is a big deal for Ole Miss because there is an SEC bylaw that says you cannot play 4 non-Power 5 non-conference games.
Right.
There are no Power 5 schools with an availability for Ole Miss, and they don't have an in-state rival.
Mm-hmm.
I asked you before the show. I actually already knew the answer to this. It's only been done once, and it was kind of the same situation.
Well, where the SEC gave a waiver?
Yes.
Okay.
It's only been done once, and I don't know that it's going to happen here.
Well, I mean, what are they going to do? They have to give them a waiver. If there's no other option, what are they going to do? Kick them out of the conference for a year?
No. Well, I mean, by the bylaw, you could actually take a conference loss because that's how this works. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think there's going to be a low-level I almost said low-level Power 5, and Florida State came out of my mouth. Freudian slip. They're going to find a team, and they're going to pay a significant amount to buy them out of one of their payment games, and they'll wind up playing Ole Miss.
Okay.
I can't remember now who I saw. I can't remember Brett's last name.
Yeah.
It's one of the college football reporters.
Mm-hmm.
He said that was how he thought it would go.
Okay.
Speaking of Florida State, I have a story about my allegiance, Florida State, and one of the teams that is contending to be my new allegiance. Mike Norvell is out of his mind. He did a press conference yesterday. I'm going to read you verbatim his quote. This is after losing to Memphis at home to fall to 0-3.
Grr.
Looking at DJ, obviously it's been a challenging start for everybody. It takes 11. We all have a job. We all have a responsibility. I think when you look at the game, there were some things that DJ did really well in putting guys in a position and trying to give them opportunities. But there were also a few times where he had missed opportunities on his part in our overall execution. Here's where you start playing clown music in the back of your head. I am pleased with the way he's preparing. I am pleased with the things that he's doing. You see the moments where he's giving us a chance. Come again for Judge Fudge? You care to run that by me one more time?
Mm-hmm.
He's giving us an opportunity to have big plays. I thought there were a lot of the reads and things that he needed to do in the position where he needed to put the ball that was positive. That, unequivocally, is the stupidest statement in the history of the English language. Nobody has ever said anything dumber than that. Would you like to take a guess through 3 games, the stat line for DJ Uiagalelei?
Oh.
He has thrown 99 passes. That is the only hint I will give you.
Okay, he's thrown 99 passes. He's completed 47 of them.
He's completed 56 of them.
56 of them.
You were close. Now go touchdowns and interceptions.
Touchdowns, I'll go 9.
He has 1. He has 1.
He has 1?
Florida State doesn't have 9 touchdowns as a team.
They don't.
Good Lord.
Gross. Yeah, gross. Yeah. Interceptions is at 7.
2.
Oh.
6.7 yards per attempt. And now, how many passing yards does he have?
227.
It's Satan. He has 666. He has Antichrist passing yards. They're telling us something. The government, they're telling us there's hormones in the water. And DJ Uiagalelei is here to kill Florida State.
Florida State's just that's just the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, last year you had the ultimate drama at the end of the year, something that's never happened before. And hey, they went, you know what, we can't stop there. We can't stop doing the never done before there. Let's start out horrifically bad this season. Go 0-3 as a preseason top 10 team. And I read this earlier, and I'm sure it'll make you feel all warm and fuzzy in your subcockles there, Jeremy. Florida State has played 120 minutes in Doak Campbell Stadium this season and has led for none of them.
Yep.
That is hard to do.
Not for a second. They've only been tied for like 8 minutes, which is also hard to do. Now, I have a very small story about one of the teams competing for my commitment in the 2024 fan transfer portal.
Another one? What were you just talking about your transfer portal?
Yeah, 100%. That's what I told you that going in. You don't listen. You should smoke less crap.
No, I mean, I had Ole Miss in mind, so there's another one?
Yeah. University of Tennessee. Hey, they're good at football.
Yeah, they are.
They're also doing something to make sure they stay good in football.
McDonald's bags.
They're adding a 10% talent fee to season tickets.
That's brilliant.
It is brilliant. It is brilliant.
Wow.
They're also increasing ticket prices by an average of 4.5%, and any increase from the 2024 season to 2025 will go directly into the volunteer collective.
When did Tennessee start living in 2050?
I don't know, but I read it and I went, You know, I always said I was coming back to Florida State in 2025. It's looks like that's going to happen.
Your number one school just put in a surcharge.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just looking around the portal here going, y'all are doing things that Florida State's not.
Wow.
You got fans that show up and don't want stuff. I
got to be honest with you. I'm impressed.
I am too.
Let's go.
That's brilliant. You find the most committed fans you have. By the way, there is a 30-year waiting list for season tickets at UT. And you just go, you know what? It's going to go up a little bit, but it's going to make sure this team stays good.
Who's the AD over there?
Danny White.
Is that a Danny White idea?
Oh, for
it
sure.
Damn sure is now. Hey, that's a great idea. What's your name? Yeah, you're fired. Hey, guys, I got a great idea.
I'm not going to lie to you. You were my litmus test of if that was as brilliant as I thought it was.
It's so good. I never even thought of that. And now I can't wait for wait a minute. Now all of the colleges are going to start adding talent fees, and now we're just, okay, the ticket prices just went up.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, at Georgia, they're going to have bond. They're going to need lawyers' fees.
We just call that Nico's surcharge.
We're going to have to put it blow and goes because that's coming for sure.
Oh, man. Tennessee. Look at you doing stuff.
Alfa Romeos for athletes at the University of Georgia. We need faster cars so they can drive faster and break more laws. Not a great
second
call.
to figure out what that was. I was like, oh, yeah, that's a car.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a car. Yep. All right, Power Rankings Tuesday. Yes, sir.
This is a great time to say I will not be here for the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
There will be some recorded things that go out on the YouTubes, so you will still see my face. There will still be bangers.
Yes.
This will be the first episode of Beachside Bangers, which I'm very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
And next week, I fully plan on, after conferring with my family and really thinking about this, my plan is Monday to unveil the final three.
Oh, okay.
I think I can do it that quick. I'm not committing to that. It's 5 good schools.
Well, look, after Tennessee beats Oklahoma by 1 billion this weekend.
Josh Heupel reunion game, no big deal.
Right, exactly.
I'll go ahead and tell you there is a banger that's already on the sheet. It's orange and it has a T in it. Do with that what you will.
He's going to cut down the transfer portal to the top 3 next week.
And I feel pretty solid about who those 3 are. But.
Very good. Oh, by the way, Battle for the belt. Did we have who was the winner?
We
this
did.
week?
I'm still trying to effort who that winner is because I don't have their DK name. I mean, I have their DK name, but I don't know who
we
it's
don't know
attached
who
to.
it is.
So as soon as I find out who that is, I'll let you know.
All right.
But I don't currently know.
I did pretty well on the DK this weekend.
We're in bizarro world. Tank's been
It
good
is.
2 weeks in a row. I've been awful 2 weeks in a row.
So, like
DJ Uyunglele's thrown for Satan passing yards.
I got a whole screen on my DraftKings of daily fantasy wins and money bags, and I'm like, I don't know how this is happening, but hey, let's go. Let's keep this heater going.
And meanwhile, I'm just running money into a paper shredder.
Don't do that.
Oh shoot!
Don't do that. I'm having a lot of fun with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, the best place to wager tutties. I put in my props every week. Touchdown is the place to bet touchdowns, and you can score big with the DraftKings Sportsbook app as well. You can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus. North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at nfl.com/terms. Power Rankings Tuesday. It is time to unveil what we've all been waiting for. That is the number 32 team in the NFL after 2 weeks of football, and it is
the Carolina Panthers.
Of course, it's the Carolina Panthers. 73-13. They have now benched Bryce Young. Still give the franchise a lot of credit for benching the number 1 pick just last year, but he sucked something awful. And hopefully they can get a little momentum going this week. I doubt it's going to happen with Andy Dalton going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. But, hey, they at least get to see what a cool stadium looks like. Like, hey, our stadium's going to look like this later, but none of us are going to play here, so it's okay.
Well, I mean, look, you had to sit down Bryce Young. To me, that was a foregone conclusion. I'm curious to see where it goes from here because I'm not sure if he can – I don't know if you can recover from that.
I doubt that you can.
It's the quickest hook I've ever seen on a number 1 draft pick.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong.
No.
That's the scary part is that you're not wrong.
No, you're not wrong. He might pick it up at some point, but right now you have to focus on the next thing. Dave Canales is trying to build a culture in Carolina. And that culture can't continue to do the wrong thing. He preaches to his team every day. We're focused on the next play, the next drill, the next meeting, the next game, and everything that we do has to be a step forward, right? We have to take a step forward, everything we do. That's what he's been preaching all offseason long. How can he continue to go into the locker room and look at those guys and say, we got to take the next step forward on the next step when he knows that the next step's not Bryce Young? He's not going to help this team in his current state. I don't know if he had to sell that to David Tepper. They asked him about it in the press conference, and he said, I'm going to keep that private. Whatever his role in this is, I'm keeping that to myself. I'm not getting into that. This was my decision, and it's the best move for us going forward.
I think it came from Tepper, but that's just me.
You think so?
I do.
Be the smartest thing he's ever done.
I think it came from David Tepper. I'd be shocked if it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had to look around that stadium where you and I were and go, whoa. This is as bad as it's been.
Mm-hmm.
There's no juice in this stadium. There's no nothing.
No.
It's silent. and silence is deadly.
Yeah.
For me, there are 4 really bad teams in the NFL.
Yes, there are.
We will knock these 4 out, and then we will get into actually good, ranging from kind of bad to pretty bad to fine to then there's like 3 teams that are really good.
So you got the Carolina Panthers at 32. Number 31.
The Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
I said yesterday that the Carolina Panthers were the most listless franchise in the NFL. I started thinking about it. I'm not sure that I agree with that because you at least have Dave Canales. You at least have a young guy that, you know what, he could be good. Denver has old, crusty Sean Payton, who went from sun-kissed California analyst to, are we actually sure he was a good coach in the first place? In 18 games.
Right.
19 games.
You're not wrong. I mean, that is kind of a coin flip at this point.
They're top 10 in the NFL defensively. I want you to let that sink in. In terms of yards allowed, they're in the top 10 in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You have not really threatened to win either of these 2 games. You kept them closer than you should have, but it was more because the 2 teams you played could not score. I don't know how the Broncos are going to score 100 points all year.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, is that because of you, though? Is it? I mean, did they do that, or is it because you played 2 teams that
you played 2 teams that can't
great?
score? It had nothing to do with you. Denver's not good. Bo Nix is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
2 games in, I can already tell you this is not going to end well.
Yeah. There's nothing redeemable there.
Oh, he
at
could
this point.
develop. Well, he could, except he's almost 25 years old already. So not a whole lot of growth left.
I think we should just change the name of this team to the Denver Sertans, and that's it. It's just you have 1 player worth talking about.
You don't have much. That is a Gnarls Barkley franchise, and unfortunately, I don't see it getting better anytime soon.
Number 30.
The New York Football Giants.
Hey, they're not good either, except for Malik Neighbors.
Yee.
I'm glad they unretired the number for Malik Neighbors because he looks like he might be the greatest Giant of all time at this point.
Malik Neighbors at this point looks like a Maserati parked in a trailer park.
Right.
It's like I did. We were at Bank of America Stadium. I had the Red Zone up in front of me on my phone, and I couldn't stop looking at the New York Giants going, man, it is so obvious that they have one really good player, and it is just dumpster fire as far as the eye can see outside of that.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Jones is terrible, but if you give him a weapon, he can get him the ball every now and then to make that weapon look good.
Kevin, the PRF, said Denver and potentially the Giants are on the 2-year Arch Manning plan.
Yep. I'd say that's a safe plan. Although, I feel like the Giants are on the 1-year Quinn Ewers plan.
I don't know. I don't think I could take Quinn Ewers number 1. He's the most talented guy.
Well, they're not getting number 1. That'll be the Carolina Panthers, and they'll take Jackson Dart. And then you're fighting for whoever's next.
Well, the problem I have with Quinn Ewers is apparently he didn't drink his milk as a boy because his bones are very brittle. And it seems like something on him breaks about once every 3 games. Which would be the most – yeah, you're right. That's the most New York Giant thing humanly possible.
Bingo.
Hey, we replaced Daniel Jones and we got – it's broke already.
And
we
guess
didn't
who?
even – we broke it getting it out of the package.
And then we're terrible. We get the number 1 pick the next year, or the number 2 pick the next year, and we miss out on Arch Manning. That's the most Giant thing that could happen.
Oh, it's okay. Arch is going to he's going to find some way to play for the Indianapolis Colts to replace Anthony Richardson. Don't worry, you won't have to wait long to hear the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad plan either. How about number 29?
Oh, I lost it. Oh, no. The Washington Commanders.
Mm-hmm. What's your redeeming quality for them at this point?
I think you hit on the only quarterback in this draft class that's actually good. I mean, do you disagree with that?
At this point,
I had
no.
Jaden Daniels as my 1 in this class because, well, I learned the lesson from the C.J. Stroud debacle with Bryce Young. Just because I didn't see you do it doesn't mean that you can't. Caleb Williams, I've seen that you can't do it. And I see, by the way, who had Washington leading this division through 2 weeks? Anybody? Show hands.
First place.
Is this the lowest we have ever had a division leader in the power rankings?
Probably.
Because I don't remember ever having one lower.
Probably so.
I feel like Washington is the fourth of the bad. But I do feel like there's a difference. Do you?
Yes, I do. You've got momentum. You've got hope where none of these other three teams have hope that they're ever getting out of this.
Ever?
No, I mean currently, like right now. Like
ever is that's
not ever. I didn't mean like forever, but for the rest of this season? Do you see any three of those teams doing anything this season that climbs them out of that hole? They will constantly be in the top four or the bottom four, and there's really nothing that they can do about it.
Not really. With Washington, you have new quarterback bump.
I was going to say the Washington Commanders. They've got some talent, and they can score some points. And at some point, they're going to put things together, and I could very easily see them climbing out of this tier of teams.
Patrick Holt doesn't like that we have the Commanders this late. He wants the Bears in front of him. Bro, the Bears have one of the best defenses in the league. They have one of the best receiving corps in the league. They have an albatross at quarterback. They have one hole. Washington has 14. You just beat the New York Giants sideways and needed a field goal late to actually win it. Yeah, this is where you belong. Now, it's not going to be like this forever because I feel like, and now I've thought of the way to say this, you're a year further into the rebuild than the others are, and I think you've already hit on the quarterback. They're guessing, hoping, please, God, let there be one quarterback there. You already have one. Now he's got to put the pieces around him.
Week 3 power rankings continue here in the Sportsocracy. Up next here on ESPN Asheville.
Wednesday, October 30th, the Orange Peel presents Cold War Kids. Get your tickets now online at theorangepeel.net. Don't miss Cold War Kids live October 30th. See you at the Peel.
Young's Ace Hardware is having a party, and you're invited. Join Young's Ace Hardware for their 20th anniversary sale on September 21st and 22nd. Be one of the first 500 customers each day and receive a free Ace 5-gallon bucket. Then get 20% off almost everything you can fit inside. Find your favorite brands like Yeti, Benjamin Moore, Weber, and more. Head to any Young's Ace Hardware location in Weaverville, North Asheville, South Asheville, Mills River, and Candler.
This is a weekly test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
When you're ready to go back in the day,
y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
Check out the all-new Throwbacks 101.1.
This is how we do it.
Allow me to introduce myself. Asheville's classic hip-hop and R&B. Come on.
Take advantage of Zero Res Carpet and Air Ducts Cleaning Fall Savings Event for 20% off all cleaning services. Carpets, air ducts, area rugs, and more, all 20% off for a limited time. Mention this station to use code 20OFF online at ZeroResAsheville.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards, it's the right way to clean.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dale's available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your dinner. Though, we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wet afternoon, but I think the steadiest rainfall now tapers off to more scattered stuff in the next couple of days. Scattered showers, a few thunderstorms. I mean, there might be a pocket or two heavier rain as our low continues to spin out. 70 degrees today, tonight in the low 60s. Still that chance of some wet weather. Wednesday morning, some fog, and as we go through the day, some scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, 75. Some lingering wet weather Thursday. Friday, though, sunshine returning and a high close to 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Get ready to shop doorbuster deals at Lowe's. Starting September 16th, save on a DeWalt 12-volt Max Extreme Drill Driver Combo Kit or a DeWalt 12-volt Max Extreme Impact Driver, your choice for just $99. Valid 9/16 through 9/18. Selection varies by location.
Hey neighbors, this is Kevin Frazier, and I'm running for Asheville City Council in the November 5th general election. Have your voice heard on Election Day this November. Make sure you register to vote today. Your vote counts.
This has been a public service announcement from iHeartMedia Asheville.
Did you know you can now use your body's own healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get real lasting pain relief? I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. If you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder, this is something you need to check out. Everybody's talking about regenerative medicine, and the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. People here rave about the results. You can enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love without pain and without drugs or surgery or downtime. Under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients and the consultation is totally free. So call now. Take action to get lasting joint pain relief with help from QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400, the Sportsocracy. Heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. We are seen everywhere inside the Ingalls studio. On YouTube, just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat for this Power Rankings Tuesday. You don't have to scream Power Rankings Tuesday? Is that... There we go. I mean, I got to get a little effort out of you if you're going to be gone for half the week. Jeremy's going to be taking off for the beach.
Look.
Leaving me all here by myself.
It's a tough life, but somebody has to do it. And I will fall on the sword of somebody has to go to the beach and call it a business trip.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This guy.
And it's that guy. So Chris Womack will be in here with me tomorrow. And then we'll have Braves game on Thursday. And then Friday is just going to be a good old-fashioned football Friday. We'll have Jeremy popping in and out throughout the program. Who knows what else we can cook up for a football Friday. We'll have all the bangers for you. No worries about that. Those will still be intact for your Friday betting pleasure.
They will still bang. Oh, they will bang.
Yes, indeed. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy. The 0-2 teams in the league. A lot of discussion about the right. Everybody likes to have the discussions of the 4.9% of 0-2 teams. That's all that's ever made the playoffs.
Am I the only one
I'm starting to get
that's like the dumbest stat we do every year?
Well, I mean,
because most of these teams are bad. Not all of them.
I was going to say, I mean, this year might be the one that bucks the trend. Might have a couple of these 0-2 teams that sneak up on the playoff race. As the season gets longer, right, the chances get better that these teams are going to be able to overcome that 0-2 deficit. And as we've seen before, the Cincinnati Bengals are a perfect example of you don't have to start out hot. You just have to finish hot.
Well, we're still on the teams that haven't started hot.
Right.
And probably are not going to get hot.
Who knows?
We got the hotties and the naughties, and these are the naughties.
Let's go to number 28.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Anthony Richardson is...
bad. B-A-D-D, bad. How do I explain Anthony Richardson appropriately? If you had a car and that car only started 4 out of 30 days, but by God, when it started, it'll do 0 to 60 in 5.2, and it's comfortable, and it's beautiful, and all the girls want to be with you, and all the dudes want to be you. And then the other 26 days, it explodes, and you have to put it back together. That's Anthony Richardson in a nutshell. Hey, you had 4 good plays last week, and you had a series of atrocities. You also have the second worst defense in the NFL, which I didn't really see coming.
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis is not good. They're not good. I don't think it's going to get drastically better. The schedule is awful. Have you looked at who the Colts have to play?
Well, I mean, they got the Bears next.
A Bears team that really needs a win because things are going a little sideways.
They are, but that's a team that can't score.
Then what?
And then you go Steelers. They can't score either, so that's not bad for your defense.
Neither can you. And they can stop you from scoring because they're both really good defensively.
Jaguars, Titans on the road back-to-back.
Both on the road. Dolphins potentially in a first game back for Tua because that would be week 4 if he went on short-term IR.
Ooh,
then
that
you go
next
at
stretch.
the Texans, at the Vikings, the Bills, at the Jets, the Lions, at the Patriots, and then you get at the Broncos, Titans, Giants, Jaguars to end it out when you're sitting on 2-11.
It loosens up at the end of the season. That middle stretch is brutal. You're going to catch a lot of losses.
Hey, we finally found out who won Battle for the Belt. It was Rocky Case.
There we go.
There we go.
Congratulations, Rocky.
Boom. Rocky, I will be in touch later today for all of the winter celebration.
Yes, and if you want to get in on the Battle for the Belt, we've got the codes are still up. All the links are still up in the same places, all over the social medias, on the website as well. We've got the QR codes floating around there as well. So if you see a friend looking at it, you can use that QR code. However you're going to make that work. Get in on the Battle for the Belt, and just don't try to do it on Sunday morning because it's not going to be.
Well, I mean, this week I won't have to send out the invite on Sunday morning because I won't be in South Carolina anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, actually, I will. I will just already have done it. Lord, I was born a traveling man. I don't know what you want.
And those of you who are in the contest, check your emails every week. You will get the link in your email to the DraftKings contest.
Yes.
And it will come from Battle for the Belt at thesportsocracy.com.
Yes. And if you can't find it, check your spam filter because apparently spam filters love
it. Has been doing that as well. We fielded several calls Saturday night and Sunday morning as far as that goes. So just letting everybody know. Get in. It's a whole lot of fun, though. One of these weeks, maybe I'm going to win one. Who knows?
Doubt it.
Well, I've beaten you 2 weeks in a row.
Didn't mean to.
Which isn't really saying a lot because you haven't been all that good so far.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Hey, never know. Never know. A couple of top 10 finishes for me.
And I'm pretty sure Tank's nickname in high school was the Blind Squirrel.
That's a big damn squirrel. At number 27 on the power rankings,
the New England Patriots. But they beat the Bengals and they played with the Seahawks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We told you in the preseason the Arizona Cardinals were going to be an annoying team that didn't win many games, and they weren't going to be fun to play. Little did you know that with my West Virginia accent, when I say Arizona Cardinals, when I say New England Patriots, it sounds like Arizona Cardinals. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, that's like that whole gray dress, pink dress
Boom.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at it one way, it's blue. If you look at it one way, it's the New England Patriots.
The Patriots still have that hard-nosed mentality.
Look, New England to me and Washington are very similar. I believe you've got the quarterback right. I would know that because I haven't seen Drake May yet.
Mm-hmm.
You're better than I thought. You still have some significant holes. For New England, it's on the offensive line. I get it. You've held up for 2 weeks. That really tells me more about the Bengals and the Seahawks, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Your defense is legit, but you just cannot score, and you're never going to beat good teams playing this way. It's not going to happen. Now, good thing for you is you play a team that's not that great this week, the New York Jets. Bad thing is it's on Thursday Night Football, and it's in New York. So, good luck with that.
And good luck with that. You got the 49ers on the road after that as well.
Good luck with that, too.
So, yeah, it's if it doesn't make sense to you now, maybe when they're 1-3, it'll make more sense to you. At number 26,
the Tennessee Titans. You want to hear the craziest stat I think I've heard in 5 years?
Yes.
One team in the NFL is within 50 yards of what the Tennessee Titans allow a week.
Really?
And they're 0-2. They've allowed 206.5 yards per game through 2 weeks and are 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
Only the Los Angeles Chargers at 227.5 are within 50 yards of them. That's hard to do. Now, I want you to play that out. You have suffocated two teams defensively and still couldn't win. The Jets gave you every opportunity you could ever want, and the Chicago Bears scored 0 offensive points, and you still managed to lose both times. That's impossible to comprehend. But I am starting to have serious reservations about Will Levis. I liked him a lot coming out, and he's just not developing.
No, he's not picking it up. And again, it's another one of those situations where obviously he's not a number one pick like Bryce Young, but you've got a new coach in here going, this ain't the guy. I mean, when Brian Callahan calls him out.
I don't know that I fully agree with what you just said.
Well, I mean, I'm not. Okay, so.
If he didn't think he was the guy, he wouldn't have called him out like that. He'd have just benched him. He'd have gone, that's Mason Rudolph. Here we go.
How about he's getting to the point?
I can't go there
He
either.
may not be the guy.
Can't go there either. I think Brian Callahan actually believes in Will Levis.
Think so.
And that's why he was so angry on Sunday, because he knew this was a winnable game.
Mm-hmm.
You had a chance to beat the Jets because you went defense for defense, and their defense wasn't.
Well, maybe calling him out challenges him enough to get whatever it is that needs to click. But I still feel like if you're ready to call him out for it, then I think you'd be ready to pull that trigger quicker.
Yeah, and that's you never coach this game. I ain't calling out a guy that I'm not calling out a guy if I've already made up my mind, because it's not a good look, and the media could turn on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just bench you. I don't need it. I'm trying to motivate you to be better because I know you give us the best opportunity to succeed. All right, I'll give you an example. Did Dave Canales come out and rail on Bryce Young? No, he coddled him because he knows there's nothing here. There's nothing here. I'm at this point, I'm kicking a dead horse. I don't have to do that. Just sit him down. We'll say all the platitudes, and we'll figure it out at the end of the year. Brian Callahan looks at Will Levis and goes, I know it's in there, and I'm going to find it.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me so angry that I see it in practice, and then you come out in games and you make these stupid decisions that cost us games. Might have known a player like that or two in my life. Might have at one time.
Sounds like sounds like you're speaking from experience there.
Might do it. Might be doing it. You never know. I think I did.
And at number 25.
This is going to be low for some people, but it's really not for me. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Is that team even kind of good?
You're getting no pushback from me on this one. This is one of those teams that I didn't really believe in coming into the season, that they would be one of those teams that found a way.
They don't find a way.
Though they find
a way to lose.
Exactly. They find a way to lose. And that's a bad place to be. I mean, did they lose to the Cleveland Browns because Cleveland was that much better than they were? I mean, although it was nice to see, normal type stats from Deshaun Watson. But Jacksonville's biggest downfall is what? Their quarterback?
Well,
or is it just an amalgamation of everything? Nothing jives with this team.
Well, I mean, it's time to look at Trevor Lawrence and go, you've been sold a bill of goods. I mean, look at his game logs.
Problem is you just pulled the trigger on that.
I don't know why you did that. I really don't. Do you know that over the last 7 games that Trevor Lawrence has played, he has not had a QBR over 57?
That's pretty bad.
50's the league average.
It's pretty bad for a guy you're paying number 2 money to.
He had a handful of them last year, but even with those, you still had a 15, actually a 2 15s against good defenses. Trevor Lawrence is not an elite quarterback. He's not. It's not coming. It's not going to happen. You're just going to have to deal with it. And you're going to have to deal with the fact that you're paying him like he is elite. Because you just lost to a team that's also paying a guy like he's elite who is straight up bad. And it still wasn't enough because you just don't really have much. The Jacksonville Jaguars roster, to me, looks like a yard sale that your grandmother would have when she got tired of looking at crap in her house. Went, somebody might like this bowl that I put candy in. It's 18 colors. And there's a butterscotch stain in the bottom. Somebody still buys it. 25 cents.
It's blown glass. It's got to be worth something.
They're just not good.
No. They're really not, and there's no real saving grace here. There's not like one thing on this team to point to and go, that piece is really good. I don't think. Can you say that about Trevor Lawrence? Can you say that about Travis Etienne? Can you say that about Tank Bigsby?
Take Josh Hines Allen away. Who's the best player on this team? Legitimately, you ask 10 Jaguar fans that question, they might give you 5 different answers. That's a bad sign.
Yeah. Jacksonville Jaguars coming in at number 25. We'll take a quick break here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. Who comes in at number 24? We'll tell you up next.
Did you know you can now use your body's own healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get real lasting pain relief? I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. If you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder, this is something you need to check out. Everybody's talking about regenerative medicine, and the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. People here rave about the results. You can enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love without pain and without drugs or surgery or downtime. Under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients and the consultation is totally free. So call now. Take action to get lasting joint pain relief with help from QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a serious heart condition. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. My HCM impacted how I felt and what I could do. So I asked my cardiologist about treatment advances that gave me new options. That conversation was big for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town, packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real, in the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
It is ESPN Asheville. This is a Power Rankings Tuesday. We're up to number 24 in the Week 3 Power Rankings. Follow us at the Sportsocracy on all of the social medias. Weigh in on the Power Rankings on the YouTube stream. Number 24, Jeremy.
The Chicago Bears. Bears gonna bear. I can't
bear down.
say anything else.
Bear down. We played defense really well.
Ooh, Caleb Williams has looked terrible.
The offense, not so much. Surrounded him with all these weapons. Granted, I mean, I guess, he didn't have Keenan Allen in this game, but would it have mattered?
Well, the bright side for the Bears is that over till the week before Thanksgiving, the best team you play is the Arizona Cardinals. I would say it was the LA Rams, except for the fact the Cardinals just beat them headless.
And they may not have any players left by then.
You should have some time to get it right. I have been trying to figure out how many of these games could you lose. There's 7 in a row. At the Colts, Rams, Panthers, Jaguars, all at home. At the Commanders, at the Cardinals, Patriots. If you lose more than 2 of those, this is going to go sideways.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team that, with the talent they have, should be 6-3 going into a game with the Packers, because the end of your schedule now looks even more evil than it did in the past.
Yeah, because you got to add in the Vikings, who don't look like a pushover.
No. And you play literally every divisional game. Every single one of them in the last 8 weeks of the season. That is a huge schedule break for Chicago, because this team's not ready to compete with anybody in this division right now. Caleb Williams looks lost. So you better take the opportunity to prey on the pathetic. Because if you don't, oh, Lord. There are already Chicago beat writers and podcasters that they're down to one last breath.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
After 2 games?
You can't look this bad. He looks completely incompetent when it comes to playing quarterback in the NFL. I mean, I get it. The line hasn't been good. He has no clock in his head whatsoever. It's so abundantly obvious to me that he played in the Pac-12 and he played in the Big 12. One team between those two conferences plays any defense. I'm not going to say he's hopeless. He's just much further away than you were led to believe by everyone except me, because this has gone pretty much exactly how I told you it was going to. Man, his roster 2-53 is really good, but you're asking this kid to do a lot. Because this isn't just a jump in competition. This is 3 jumps in competition. He didn't play in the SEC. He didn't play in the Big Ten. He didn't see legit defenses like that. And guess what? Every time he did, they beat his brains out. This was predictable. But fans, short for fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
Short for fanatic for a reason. They eat, sleep, and breathe this team. And right now, you're looking at Caleb Williams going, you're the one thing holding us back because the defense is awesome.
It's what you're expected to be when you're the number 1 pick. You are expected to come in and know somewhat what you're doing. Look somewhat like you belong. I get it. 2 games in, maybe it doesn't look good. You got to hope that step comes forward. And, hey, next week they play the Indianapolis Colts. So
if you have another week next week against that defense, whoo, that will be bad. Bad.
But can he do the same thing that he did in college? Pick on the bad defenses and be just good enough to show you that maybe there is something in there for the future.
And I hate to pull up a line that I used on his draft profile. There are no Arizona States in the NFL. Even the Indianapolis Colts are better than any defense he saw in college. Reads are different. Everything's faster. And he is not processing at a high level right now. And that would scare me to death if I was a Bears fan.
Definitely looks like he could be the big BUST. I'm not ready to go there yet.
I'm not ready to go there yet, but I will tell you, it was in the back of my mind when you drafted him, and it's creeping to the front ever so slowly.
One place we are ready to go. How about the next team in the Week 3 power rankings at number 23?
The Seattle Seahawks. Okay.
We're 2-0.
I have to be careful with Seattle.
Uh-huh.
Because there have been some encouraging things.
Like?
And I said that through gritted teeth for a reason. Geno has been fine. I'm not ready to say this is good Geno or anything like that because you got to look at who you played.
Okay.
You played the second worst team in the NFL, and I get it, your West Coast team coming east. You didn't look good against New England. You didn't. I get it. The defense it's a struggle. Here's what I don't get. Why have you let 2 of the most god-awful offenses I think I've ever seen? They've succeeded against you. Did you see how bad Bo Nix was against Pittsburgh? Really? New England can't throw. They took you to overtime. Make that make sense to me. I think Seattle is more talented, but I don't think any of this has clicked yet. I'm not saying it won't. The problem is that this is the highest spot that I could put them because I feel like the Seahawks and the Bears are in the same spot. You're better than you have played, but I'm going to have to see you do it before I believe it because I don't believe in either one of your quarterbacks at all. Your division is tougher than I thought because right now, Arizona looks better than you. They just beat the brain straight out of the Los Angeles Rams.
Right.
I can't have you in front of them. They pushed the Buffalo Bills to the limit and beat the Rams to death. The Rams were at 6 last week. That was too high. I will take credit for that. That was my fault. I overvalued Sean McVay a lot.
Uh-huh.
You can't have no offensive linemen and still be good.
Mm-hmm. 23-20, they beat the New Patriots. You got to give them credit for winning the game. Somebody said earlier, I think it was Divine Comedy that said earlier, he carved up the New England Patriots, the number 3 defense in the NFL.
If you think that's the third best defense in the NFL, I got to breathe.
I mean, based on statistics, I guess. One week in, congratulations. Yeah.
Geno
just
Smith,
hold your horses a little bit. All right, you beat 2 bad teams. Awesome. You're sitting at 2-0. Hopefully good Geno is back.
Mm-hmm. And he might be. I don't know. You've played 2 terrible teams. And I do. I think talent-wise, they're terrible. Kenny Walker's the only player on this team that can run.
Mm-hmm.
And he's made of popsicle sticks. That scares me. And it should.
This team beats Miami next week. Does it do much for you?
Well, it's ironic that you said that because we have Another team in the power rankings.
At number 22?
The Miami Dolphins. It doesn't do squat. You're playing a team with no quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you go 3-0. You've beaten the Broncos, the Patriots, and the Dolphins. The best quarterback you've beaten so far might be Bo Nix. Maybe you see why that concerns me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, moving on to Miami, you have all the talent in the world. You also have the most uncertainty of any team in the NFL, and I don't think it's close. You're sitting around waiting to hear if your quarterback that you just gave a gajillion dollars to is ever going to play another game. Do I think you have all jumped to conclusions there? Yes, I do. I firmly do.
Yes.
And until I hear Tua say it, I'm going to believe you've jumped to conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
But without him, what do you have? All right, so you sunk all this money into Tyreek Hill, all this money into Jalen Waddle, and they're being thrown to by Skylar Thompson.
Or Tyler Huntley. Because that's your backup plan.
Apparently, I'm the only one that's seen him play in the last 2 years.
Someone had asked earlier in the YouTube chat that apparently one of the national shows was talking about the Panthers trading Bryce Young to the Miami Dolphins.
You'd be eating the money and you get nothing back.
Right. Like, what would somebody give for Bryce Young?
Conditional 7th-round pick.
100%. 100%. There's nothing that nobody is going to offer the Carolina Panthers anything for Bryce Young of value. That would just be we're moving on. And it doesn't do Miami any good. Miami gets no benefit from something like that. I'm replacing Tua Tagovailoa with a guy who can't play. I don't need that.
There is a quarterback out there that makes sense, but that quarterback is Russell Wilson. And look, Miami may get lucky here. They go Seahawks, Titans, Patriots, Colts the next 4 weeks. You better hope you have something in place by the end of this year, though, because the back end of that schedule is shoe buddy.
All those are winnable games.
Not with Skylar Thompson, they're not. They'll get smacked this week in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
31-6. Seattle will beat them to death, I think. I don't trust Seattle much, but you should. Tennessee, I don't know how you're going to score on them. With no Tua, you didn't look good with Tua, that which I feel like is being overlooked by a lot of people. This offense was awful with Tua.
Yes.
He has the lowest, the lowest quarterback rating in the NFL? Because he's thrown a bajillion interceptions in 2 weeks. That's not a good sign. I don't buy Miami.
Is he lower than Bryce?
Well,
okay.
I was putting Bryce in his own category.
Okay, I was going to say Bryce had a 9, and I don't think Tua was that bad.
QBR.
Oh, QBR. Excuse me.
Bryce is eating at the little kids.
What were you saying?
Quarterback.
The quarterback rating. Okay.
And yes, those two things are different.
Wait, I thought QBR stood for quarterback rating.
QBR is QBR. Quarterback rating is the 156. Was it 158.3?
I thought that was the passer rating.
It's been called passer rating too.
Oh, okay.
It was QB rating, and now people do that to not do what you changing it.
What is this, baseball?
Yeah, now we do it to not do what you just did, which is
Oh wait, which one of those is that? All right, you're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
2 questions I want to touch on in the YouTube chat before we go to commercial. Royal Saxon asked, "Go sideways? What does that mean, new coach?" No, Mike McDaniel, I think, is safe. More of my fear is, okay, you've committed all of this money. You're pot committed to running this high-flying offense. What happens if Tua goes away? Your best solution out there is Russell Wilson. That ain't a high-flying offense. And you're in an AFC where the margins are thin because there are a lot of good teams in the AFC. The other one was from Kelvin Joyner, who said, why is the concept of taking a rookie sitting for a year or two under an established veteran gone extinct? Pat Mahomes did it. It's probably for a reason. There's one flat answer for that, because teams are too impatient.
Mm-hmm.
It's why Jaden Daniels is playing for the Commanders right now, even though he's not totally ready. It's why Bo Nix is playing right now, even though he's not even close to ready. It's why Caleb Williams is playing for the Chicago Bears, even though he's not ready.
Well, and it's also teams that they draft a quarterback when they don't have one. Right? I'm taking
out of pure necessity. Nobody looks
right,
ahead.
but look at Kansas City. When they took Patrick Mahomes, they had Alex Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Because they went, yeah, this makes sense. I can deal with Alex for another year.
That's a luxury most teams don't have.
I could bring this guy up. Precisely. I mean, you're looking at the best kind of situation is Drake May. They got Jacoby Brissett. They brought in a guy so he could sit. Mm-hmm. Most teams aren't doing that. And you just don't do that with the number one pick. When the Chicago Bears go draft Caleb Williams number one, there's no chance. You would be crucified for that.
Oh, no doubt.
For having a plan to sit him for a year. If you got a plan to sit him for a year, don't draft him number one.
Well, you also have to have a coach that has the security that Andy Reid did.
Sure.
How many teams that need quarterbacks have coaches that have that?
They don't.
Even if they just hired one.
They don't. And that's why the worst teams always draft the quarterbacks. And guess what? The worst teams always break the quarterbacks. Well, not always, but for the most part. Because you put them in bad situations. You put them out there before they're ready to go. And then by the time you might have somebody come in, I'm not saying Dave Canales is that guy, but by the time you do have somebody come in that might be able to work with a quarterback, has worked with broken quarterbacks before and fixed them, he's already broken by the time he gets him.
And one more on the way out. Kelvin said, I'm sleeping on Tyler Huntley a bit. He played some solid games in place of Lamar in a completely different offense.
Mm-hmm.
In a completely different offense. Now, is it possible that Mike McDaniel backs off throwing as often as they do and really leans on the running game? Maybe. That's possible. And if they do, then you're probably right. I am probably too low on Tyler Huntley. But he's also got to get acclimated to the playbook, and it is not. I can tell you from experience because it's very close to what the Jets ran for a couple years. It is not an easy playbook to learn.
No.
There are a lot of things that go into playing quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. A Power Rankings Tuesday continues after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville. Wet afternoon, but I think the steadiest rainfall now tapers off to more scattered stuff in the next couple of days. Scattered showers, a few thunderstorms. I mean, there might be a pocket or two of heavier rain as our low continues to spin out. 70 degrees today, tonight in the low 60s. Still that chance of some wet weather. Wednesday morning, some fog, and as we go through the day, some scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, 75. Some lingering wet weather Thursday. Friday, though, sunshine returning and a high close to 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back. Discover's got you covered on the last one. That's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
We're just days away from our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
The biggest headliners in live music will be taking over T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas.
Plus, some special surprises and moments you are not going to want to miss.
Stream only on Hulu this Friday and Saturday, starting at 10:30 p.m.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Compassionate care starts with respected and valued employees. Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation offers careers with purpose and opportunities for advancement for those looking for meaningful employment or anyone searching for a leading short-term rehabilitation and long-term care facility for loved ones. Sandstone prides itself on unmatched staff and resident satisfaction. We set the standard for excellence in employment and compassionate care. Discover the Sandstone Way online at sanstonehealth.com.
Haywood EMC, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is powering a brighter future for our community by offering college scholarships, education grants, athletic camps, and much more. Serving the rural residents of Western North Carolina with affordable, reliable, safe services and open communications for over 80 years. Learn all of the ways Haywood EMC is working in the community at haywoodemc.com/community.
Get ready for the Goombay Festival in downtown Asheville, September 27th through the 29th. Join us for a vibrant celebration of African and Caribbean culture. Enjoy live music, delicious food, and unique crafts. For more details and entertainment schedule, visit ymiculturalcenter.org.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dales available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard.
plays hard and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your dinner. Though we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
And we are here on ESPN Asheville, inside the Ingles studio, Week 3 NFL Power Rankings. At number 21.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Most surprising?
No doubt. No doubt. But is it real? Look, I think they're definitely better than we thought.
Look, I will say they're good. I'll say they're a good
we
team.
We even thought they were a good team. We just didn't think they were going to win a lot of games because the schedule's awful.
Yeah, well, and sometimes there's that whole, it's I like to be good, but sometimes I like to be lucky as well. And I think that's kind of what we saw this past week. I mean, they went up against a Los Angeles team that is killed by injuries. And they lose Cooper Kupp in this game. Now you're looking at a team completely decimated by injury, and so I can't go, well, they beat the hell out of the sixth best team in the NFL. Well, that wasn't the sixth best team in the NFL.
No, that was a shell of the sixth best. But it was still impressive.
No doubt.
I'm not
you
taking
beat
it away
anybody in the NFL like that? That's impressive.
I just want to see another week of it. That's it. They've risen several spots here. If they're and they could be competitive in a loss to the Lions next week at home. And jump 4 or 5 more spots.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's teams in front of them that I don't really believe in. The teams in front of them also don't play one of the 5 most evil schedules I've ever seen in my life.
It's a nasty, scrappy team that you don't want to face.
And the rebuild is in well effect.
Speaking of nasty, scrappy teams you don't want to face, how about number 20?
This is where it gets more difficult for me because I'm taking in you have to take into how I felt about a team going into the season.
Mm-hmm.
The Las Vegas Raiders. I don't think the Raiders are a bad team. I think what you have seen over 2 weeks of them is what you have. You have an inconsistent team that is still figuring each other out. And the reason that happens is because you cannot run a greasy peg up a cat's keister. And that is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You rely on Gardner Minshew, who has had a lot of success as a spot starter in this league. I've always said he's a good quarterback who's just never really been afforded an opportunity. That being said, you need some luck. And it's hard for me to have you any higher than this.
Is this a scheme thing that they can't run the ball? Or is this Tank was right, Zamir White's not a lead back in this league?
Both.
Okay.
I don't think your line's great. I think teams are, at this point, trying to make you one-dimensional. And I still believe in the Raiders markedly more than you do.
Yes, you do.
I think the talent is there. The buy-in is obvious because they, straight up, you beat a Baltimore team that I think is really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's impressive. I'm in more of a wait and see with the Raiders than maybe even I should be. They maybe should be a little higher than this, but then I go back to week 1 and go, it was so awful. It looked so clunky. And I think they're just a week-to-week team. Yeah. We have a super chat in our YouTube comments.
All right.
Yeah! It's from my buddy Red C. He said, as a Cards fan, I don't want to hear one word about the injury of the Rams. Arizona never got the same treatment when we were hurt, much worse than the Rams were on Sunday. I don't know that I've ever seen a team more hurt than the Rams were Sunday. They started 4 backup offensive linemen. They had, by the end of that game, they had Tyler Johnson and Jordan Whittington as the legit pass catchers. They still don't have a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is banged up. The Rams are killed. I mean, you get to a certain point when you're missing that many offensive linemen, you got guys that have never played beside each other. That matters.
Yeah.
Now, do I think it would have mattered? No. If you'd have given the Rams 2 of them back, yeah, guess what? You probably still get smacked. And those linemen don't play corner. Tre'Davious White does.
You just might have lost by 10.
Exactly.
Instead of losing by 30.
So the injury thing is not to diminish the Cardinals.
No, it's more of a just, you know what? You keep doing you. Cardinal fan, you keep doing you. You keep doing this week in and week out. You keep playing people tough, and you keep beating teams that you ain't supposed to beat. You'll be up in this power ranking very, very soon because the Jeremy said this at the beginning of the season. The middle of this league is so mishmashy that you can go, from top 10 to bottom 10, and everything in between is just interchangeable.
We are 2 weeks into this season, and this was the first thing I said to Tank when we started conspiring on power rankings this morning. There are 3 teams in the NFL that I know are really good. There are 4 teams in the NFL that I know are really bad. The meaty clackers of the, 25 other teams, I'm not sure what I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I think. And that's what we're going with here. But there are a lot of teams right here from about 21 with the Cardinals all the way into the low teens, almost to single digits. I don't know what you are.
Yeah.
I have no clue. Because you've played 2 games and I've seen 2 completely different teams.
Mm-hmm. Before we move off of the Las Vegas Raiders, we do have to say Brock Bowers a dog.
Of course you had to say that. and I'm sure you said it for completely analytical reasons and not because he went to Georgia.
No, I did. I just wanted to echo that because Rob Johnson said it in the YouTube comments and went, that's a great point. And it's a great opportunity for me to bring up. Yeah, Brock Bowers ain't bad at football.
Yeah, he's real good.
And that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome for them.
He's real good.
The Las Vegas Raiders coming in at 20. Next week, they get to beat the snot out of the Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
It's not going to be fun for the Panthers.
Go ahead and tell you, I'm probably not going to learn anything about you next week either.
No.
Other than how much compassion you have.
By the way, this is our weekly reminder of if you're in a survivor pool, Las Vegas Raiders this week.
Sheskis.
Number 19.
The Cleveland Browns.
Are they good? Or are they not?
I don't know.
What you going to be?
I've seen 2 completely different units from the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson looked like he had forgotten how to play football in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
He was confident in week 2.
Mm-hmm.
It was against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are not good. But this is what, to me, the week 3 power rankings are the hardest because you have to try to cut through what I have seen is real and what is fake. I don't understand why your defense is not as good. Them and the Jets, it's the same dudes. It's the same dudes with the same coordinator, and some of your guys just look like they forgot how to play in the offseason. It gave up a huge bomb to the Jaguars in a game that you had pretty well in hand. And you let them stay in it for absolutely no reason. They did nothing. And to me, there's just not a lot with Cleveland that I can count on week in, week out. Running game, everybody knows. Secret's out. They're going to try to bleed you to death running the ball. And so teams are putting it in Deshaun Watson's hands. He was able to do enough against the Jaguars. Dallas Cowboys did the same thing, and I honestly think they could have beaten you 50-3. They just took some mercy on you late.
Yep. But you had the moment, right? All of the things happening around this franchise right now, the fact that Deshaun was able to put together a competent game, I give them a lot of credit for that. So maybe this season's not going to be a complete loss like it looked like after week 1.
You still have a lot of talent.
Mm-hmm.
And when in doubt, defer to who is super talented.
Mm-hmm.
And the Browns are.
Yep. At number 18.
This is the most confusing team in the NFL to me. Go Chargers, go!
Why are they confusing?
Because I don't know how you think you're going to continue to win like this.
It's hardball football.
With Justin Herbert throwing it, what's he throwing it, 52 times or something like that in 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
That's not sustainable, and you know it as well as I do.
No, but do they anticipate it being sustainable? Or is this more of a or is this more of a ramp up? We're going to continue to work on the passing game. We'll find a groove there, but while we're doing it, let's just cram the ball down their throats. I mean, they didn't have to do anything against the Panthers this week. We all knew going in there that this was going to be a win. Kenny Ford looked at me on the first carry of the game by J.K. Dobbins and went, that's all they got to do all game.
Yep.
And that's all they
That's
did.
all they did.
Just pound it up the middle. They can't stop it. This is how Jim Harbaugh wants to play football. And when he can, he's going to.
And I still look at the Chargers and go, okay, when you play in your weight class, you played a gross fest with the Raiders where they were bad, and it was still in doubt late. Now you go at the Steelers and the Chiefs in back-to-back weeks. You get a little layup against the Broncos. It's in Denver. Then you get the Cardinals, Saints, and Browns, and Titans, and Bengals, and Ravens, and Falcons, and Chiefs. And maybe you see my point here. If you think you're going to ground and pound the teams I just said, you will be 3-10 before you could even snap your head around. It is non-sustainable. I will learn a lot this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers because I'm not your defensive coordinator, but I bet I know your defensive game plan. I bet there's going to be 7 in the box.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. And you're going to look at Quentin Johnston and go, catch 2 of them on us there, big boy. Josh Palmer. It's Josh Palmer season. Baby.
Mm-hmm.
Baby.
You have to find another option.
And that's the thing.
You don't have one.
I think you do. I like Josh Palmer. I just traded for Josh Palmer in a Dynasty League.
Did you?
Because somebody got disgusted with him, and I went, Bryce Young. I don't know why you did that, but there you go. I traded him to you the week he got benched.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go number 17.
I did that in the Panthers Stadium, which I almost kind of felt guilty about, and then I didn't in any way.
Mm-mm.
And then I laughed a lot. The Minnesota Vikings.
And Mr.
Sammy D, MVP. Let's
Sam
go.
Darnold is back. Actually, he's now just arriving on the scene after 7 years in the league.
It's just you're all learning now. You're all learning. Hey. I think a big ginger and mulleted man tried to tell you how good Sammy D was.
All right, is he that good?
He is.
I mean, I get he's completing 70% of his passes, but is that replicable?
All I'm going to tell you is watch the tape. Watch the tape. I don't have to defend it. He's defending it himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not telling you that the New York Giants are a good or even competent defense.
You shouldn't.
The San Francisco 49ers are.
Mm-hmm.
And you embarrassed them for a significant part of that game. As a quarterback, stats aren't gaudy. I don't need them to be gaudy. I need you to hit that 97-yard bomb and let Justin Jefferson do his work.
Precisely.
By the way, you're doing this without Jordan Addison. You're doing this without T.J. Hawkinson. You did this with Aaron Jones not being awesome. That should tell you a lot. That defense is so much better than I thought it was. That's not saying much because I thought they were awful. They're not. They're not awful.
That might have been more shocking than the Cardinals doing what they did to the Los Angeles Rams. Because I thought the Vikings were going to be terrible. It was just going to be, hey, it's back to Randy Moss days. That team's not, I mean, they're not worst in the league, but you got one great player. Congratulations.
I cannot tell you I saw them doing that to the 49ers because I didn't.
No, nobody saw
I
that.
believed in Sam Darnold. I am a Sam Darnold truther, and I'm fine with that. And now he's showing you all what I've been trying to tell you is look at the dumpster fire that is the Carolina Panthers. Look at the dumpster fire that was the New York Jets. It's still a dumpster fire, but now it has Aaron Rodgers, which is lipstick.
Yep.
Weird. San Francisco, they loved him. They wanted to bring him back. Minnesota, whose coach has a relationship with some of the guys in San Francisco, weird. That was the first thing they did in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
We know we're going to draft a quarterback. We know we're moving on from Kirk Cousins. Sam Darnold's the guy we want because we don't want to spin this wheel anymore. And I'll say this, don't be shocked when Sam Darnold gets a long-term deal with the Vikings, because I think it's coming.
Yep.
And J.J. McCarthy will be auctioned off to the highest bidder, because you're going to have a slew of quarterback-needy teams and a slew of broken toys in this next draft class. I'm calling my shot now. It's week 2. It's very early. I'll bet anything you want. Anything you want. Because Sam is really, 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 really good.
Week 3 of the NFL Power Rankings. We'll get into the top half of the league after the break here on ESPN Asheville.
Summit Dental believes that success is defined by the quality of care and not by the number of patients seen. If you're looking for a different dental experience or you're new to town, call Summit Dental. Dr. Reinhardt and his staff pride themselves on a personalized approach to dental care and to building relationships with their patients. Expect complimentary benefit pre-checks that detail any insurance estimated out-of-pocket costs before you visit, and close attention to your comfort during that visit. Summit Dental. 828-277-6868.
Friday, October 18th, the Orange Peel presents comedian David Cross.
There are truly so many awful things about having a child, but there are. And I now have to engage in small talk and chit-chat that I never would ever give the time of day to, you know?
Get your tickets now online at theorangepeel.net. Don't miss comedian David Cross live October 18th.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Capital One's Chief Brand Officer, Mark Mentry, weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
Capital One has really worked to create amazing access moments for our customers. Anywhere from when we have a live event, there'll be customer events ahead of that. We will do sound check parties that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without the relationship iHeart has with the artists, with venues to create these really exclusive events, festivals that iHeart puts on, gives Capital One the ability to create those moments. People are passionate about their favorite artists, and so we try to tap into that together.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local, every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
It's bow time. Some classics never go out of style, like fresh egg, American cheese, and hickory smoked bacon on a made-from-scratch biscuit. But why stop there? Pair it with crispy bow rounds and a hot coffee or medium drink for just $5.99. Your morning deserves a breakfast that has it all, from the fluffy egg and crispy bacon to the melted cheese and, of course, a legendary Bojangles biscuit. Make it the ultimate breakfast combo for $5.99. Order in the app or at Bojangles. It's bow time.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dale's available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your dinner. Though we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
The Sportsocracy.
That's the way I feel when my team wins. And if I want to jump up and down when my team wins, and if I want to hug my players when they do good, I'm going to do it.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville. Wet afternoon, but I think the steadiest rainfall now tapers off to more scattered stuff in the next couple of days. Scattered showers, a few thunderstorms. I mean, there might be a pocket or two heavier rain as our low continues to spin out. 70 degrees today, tonight in the low 60s. Still that chance of some wet weather. Wednesday morning, some fog, and as we go through the day, some scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, 75. Some lingering wet weather Thursday. Friday, though, sunshine returning and a high close to 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows to start fall projects, you need reliable outdoor power equipment from Ego. Get your choice of a select 56-volt blower or chainsaw for $249. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 10/2 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Item number 520-7558 and item number 435-4078.
WWNC covers it all from now till November 5th.
All the key races.
All the big issues.
All the late-breaking developments.
All right here.
On News Radio 570 WWNC. Western North Carolina's election station.
I knew there had to be a better way to get relief from joint pain aside from surgery and harmful medications.
That's football legend and dancing champ Emmitt Smith, who knows a thing or two about joint pain.
Turns out I was right. It's called QC Kinetics, and now tens of thousands of patients and counting all across the country, they're feeling amazing. They say, hey, Emmitt, you were right.
QC Kinetics zeroed in on a technology that is revolutionizing pain treatment. They are transforming patients' lives. The largest provider of non-surgical regenerative treatments using natural healing properties to help restore and repair aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs. Call them today for your free consultation.
QC Kinetics. I knew there had to be a better way. I love it when I'm right.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
We are back on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 live from the Ingalls studio. We are the Sportsocracy, and we're heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app and seen everywhere on the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel. So you can join us in the chat, and while you're on the website as well, be sure to check out the link for the Battle for the Belt this week, our weekly DFS contest. You want to get in on that as well. Make yourself a winner each and every week. End of the season winner for the whole season gets a belt and $1,000 in cash. So Battle for the Belt is it's the way to go if you want to have a little fun with us here on the Sportsocracy on the weekends. Power Rankings Tuesday, top half of the league at number 16, Jeremy Greene.
The Los Angeles Rams.
I feel like this is too high for a team killed by injury like this, but
they are killed. But the offensive line's gonna get better.
Mm-hmm.
Puka and Cooper's that's probably your undoing. I don't know that you can sustain that, and I've heard both of them could be gone for 6 weeks. And now you're throwing to Jordan Whittington and Tyler Johnson and Tutu Atwell and it's just not good enough.
No.
Now, I will tell you who I love right now is Kyron Williams. Shoo, buddy, do I like having Kyron Williams in fantasy football right now because he's about all you have.
If you're going to be without those guys for 6 weeks, are there any wins that they can pick up over teams like the Bears on the road or the Raiders or the Vikings? Or I'm struggling here to get to teams that you can beat just by running the football.
Well, you got to be able to play defense better than they did last week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the 49ers, probably not. But, I mean, you're giving a lot of credence to the Bears, Packers, Raiders, Vikings, and Seahawks.
Now, those are good defenses, though.
The Bears are.
The Packers are a good defense.
Are they, though? You let Jalen Hurts score 30 points on you, so 34 points on you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look that great to me yet. Oh, they held Anthony Richardson to 10 points. Yeah. Awesome. And I'm not saying they're not good.
Right.
It's just, you chalk things up way quicker than I do. I've always said this. I turn like a cruise ship. The Rams, have the best coach in the NFL. I think you have a high-end quarterback, and high-end quarterbacks make mediocre receivers better. I also told you in the offseason Jordan Whittington was going to be the next Puka Nacua.
You did.
Pick him up in fantasy football. I'm only going to be here to tell you this one time. I will have him in every league I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Do with that what you will.
With all the injuries, though, this early in the season, it puts a lot on the shoulders of this team to have to pick up the pieces after they all come back.
It does, and you're going to have to rally hard. Mm-hmm. And if you come out of this, if they come out of this 3-3, let's say this team is 3-5 going into a game with the Dolphins on a long week for Monday Night Football, and everybody comes back, and the offensive line is intact, and now the receiving core is intact, and you end with the Dolphins and the Patriots and the Eagles, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Jets. These are all winnable games. Don't throw dirt on the Rams yet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you get buried and you have 6 losses in a row here, okay. 0-8, that's enough. We can throw dirt on them then.
Yep.
But I'm not ready to do it yet.
All right, let's go to number 15.
The Atlanta Falcons. Hey, Atlanta, which quarterback do you currently have? Because I'm confused. Because Kirk Cousins looked like Skeletor in week 1. Last night he looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
There is a better than 0 chance that I will be seeing Kirkland Delano Cousins up close and personal this weekend. Stay close to our social medias for that. Still trying to put all the pieces together for that one.
Kansas City Chiefs action on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, they play in Atlanta on Sunday Night Football, and I can go through Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Best friend on the planet is a Falcons fan and has tickets. So
there you go.
Just trying to make sure that neither of our wives will stab.
Yeah.
Because oddly enough, we're both going on golf trips the same week, not with each other. Nowhere near each other.
So you would both be extending the trip away from your wives to go to the game.
Yep, you got to phrase that delicately. Hey, I know I'm gonna be gone for 4 days, but what about that 5th day? Maybe.
I mean, in your case, I don't know.
In my case, my wife will go, yep.
This is what I was going to say.
Extend it 5 more days. I don't care. I get a lot more done around here. It's a lot quieter when you're not here.
Precisely. Atlanta, though, as long as Kirk is playing like he was playing last night, especially at the end of the game, Atlanta's going to be dangerous, and that NFC South race, it's a little more interesting now with 3 teams in the mix.
We have a super chat in our YouTube comments. Yeah! Everybody, Stephen Towle, fantasy targets for someone that got beat 150-70. That was by me. I did that. Yeah. Cole, Clint, and I. It was a 3-headed monster this week. Yeah, we outscored the rest of the league by 50 points apiece.
Wow.
It was a good old good one.
It's pretty impressive.
I sent a message to the group chat text last night that just said, we were not falafeling around. We wanted to assert our dominance.
And Steve, and then I was going to say Steven also ended up losing to me in another league by like 70 points as well. It wasn't a good weekend for him.
I do think Stephen Towle's the first person to ever lose to Tank and me in the same week. That is something that you can hold on to. I mean, fantasy pickups for this week. I love Jordan Whittington. I will pick him up everywhere. Carson Steele. I think he is the running back you want for Kansas City. Even if they bring in Kareem Hunt, which I'm not sold on, it would take several weeks, and I think Carson Steele could grab this job and just run with it. I wouldn't hate Samaje Perine because he could get a crack at it too. Other than that, it's basically Deontay Foreman, and that's just for however many weeks you don't have Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
this is a bleak week.
For all fantasy options?
For all waiver wire options.
Oh, okay. For waiver wire.
There's always one of these in the first handful of weeks.
Let's go up to number 14 in the power rankings.
How about them Cowboys?
The Dallas Cowboys.
I don't know. This team is so bipolar, I should date them. I mean, who are you? Are you the team that beat the Browns to death or got just eviscerated by the Saints?
But, I mean, even you said that in their win against the Browns, they didn't look good doing it.
You needed a kick return. Offensively, the fact you can't run is going to kill you. The good thing for you is that you're in the worst division in the NFL, and I'm not even sure it's close.
And this week, you host the Baltimore Ravens. You talk about a game that's going to tell us a lot about somebody. I don't like it for the Cowboys. That may be my own personal biases because you guys know how I feel about the Baltimore Ravens. I'm always disappointed when they let me down. So maybe I'm hoping too much for Baltimore to come back with a vengeance this week, but I don't think that's the case. And every loss you get Cowboys fans riled up because we just wasted how much money on Dak Bum Prescott. How many times did you see that on Sunday?
I have every Cowboy fan blocked on all social media. I can't.
You just can't do it.
It's like dating Taylor Swift. I know. You're emo. Stop it. Really high, really low.
Was I surprised by the outcome this weekend? Yeah. Yeah, I was. I didn't think New Orleans was going to beat the dog snot out of you.
I picked New Orleans against the number, and that was about as much as I could say with confidence. And I very quickly went, whoa, boy, this is not awesome.
But it's a wishy-washy team, the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to keep you on the roller coaster. Number 13.
This is where I feel like you're getting into more of, okay, what is happening right now? The Pittsburgh Steelers.
What do you mean by what is happening?
Well, you're 2-0.
Yeah. Do you
I'm
think
not
they're
sure
good, though?
You meant to. I don't think I've ever seen a team that looked this bad offensively win 2 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And before last night, I thought you had beaten 2 bad teams. Now I think your defense was good enough that you intimidated a team to completely change their game plan with Kirk Cousins to where they beat themselves, which I don't know that I've ever seen that before. But it doesn't change the fact your offense is awful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Justin Fields has, 273 passing yards in 2 weeks. I don't know how you keep it up.
No, it's not. It's not impressive to me.
There's
nothing impressive about the first 2 wins that you've had. I mean, maybe the most impressive part is the fact that you found a kicker that could make 6 field goals in one game. That might be the more impressive part. I don't believe you can play offense, so I don't believe that you can win very many games in this league.
Well, the funny thing is that they go down, minus the Indianapolis Colts, they go on a 5-week stretch where they play teams that I feel like are exactly the same thing they are. You can do one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have the talent to do another thing. I'm just not sure if you're ever going to figure out how to do it. With the Chargers, the Cowboys, the Raiders, and the Jets. A game that I will be at, and I'm not going to lie to you, I am looking less forward to by the minute.
Pittsburgh Steelers, though, as long as you keep being in this little, nebulous area of are we good, are we not, it's good enough to be in the top 15 at this point.
That's because you just don't know with a lot of these teams. My top 10, I looked at it in the break before this segment started. It just went, how did we get here? There are 3 teams in my top 10 that I would have said you were smoking crimes if you had told me that before the year. But I couldn't keep them out.
Number 12.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
We talked about them to start out the show today, and the fact that they can't win games that they're leading in. It baffles me.
I do this a lot during power rankings weeks. I want to do 2 teams at once because I believe 12 and 11 are the same team.
Okay.
And they look completely different.
Okay.
The New York Jets. Your coach is killing you. You have all the talent in the world, and you just make things look so hard that are not hard. Here's the difference. The Jets have a coach on the field. The Eagles don't. The Jets have Aaron Rodgers. The Eagles have Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts goes in business for himself way too often, which is evidenced by how he wound up with 85 rushing yards last night and could not have hit the broadside of the ocean throwing it. These are 2 of the most talented teams in the league. And I don't know that you can actually do anything because your coaching is so bad.
it's baffling how many times the Philadelphia Eagles have blown leads late in games. Earlier, I told you about the four straight losses that have happened. They have been leading in the last 2 minutes of the game. It's worse than that. They lost to the Jets with 46 seconds to go last year. Seahawks with 28 seconds left. The Cardinals with 32 seconds left. And then last night, 38 seconds to go with the Atlanta Falcons. I need a coach. I need guys on the field that in the last few moments, I know you're not going to forget how to play football. You're not going to forget how to defend. You're not going to forget how to scheme. And that seems to be the path for Nick Sirianni and his coaching staff and this team.
There are no two teams that I look at and see the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. All right, the Jets couldn't tackle against San Francisco. I get it. Second half against Tennessee, defense looked way better. The offense is already good. And guess what? I hate to break this to Jet haters. They hit on another one because Braylon Allen is a dog.
Yes, sir, he is.
By the way, youngest player to ever score a touchdown in the NFL, and he scored 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep coming back to no team makes me go, what the hell was that? More than the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Jets. At some point, the leadership has to step up and not take it away from the coaching staff, but have one of those good old-fashioned players-only meetings where we go into a room and it's 53 of us. That coaching staff's trying to put us in the right position to succeed. We know what we're doing. We got a lot of dogs in this room. We have to go be better. And, yeah, Philadelphia could be 2-0 if it wasn't for a Saquon Barkley drop. They could also be 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
They could be 0-2. They haven't impressed me for 5 seconds. I wanted them lower. I could not find teams to pass them. The Jets, I wanted them lower. I couldn't find a team to pass them. I mean, for the love of God, the team behind them is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I'm not sure I couldn't find 20 people in Asheville that could keep them from scoring.
Right.
The meaty clackers of this league is really confusing. And I've seen really good and really bad from a lot of them. And you know what I do in those instances? I revert back to what I thought coming into the year. I think the Eagles are talented and poorly coached. I think the Jets are talented and poorly coached. The tiebreaker between the two was Aaron Rodgers. And that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And for the love of God, can I have my defense back, please?
You got to figure that out.
I got a stupid college coach that thinks DJ Uiagalele's doing good things. I need you to be gooder.
Looking at you, Sauce Gardner.
Sauce, buddy.
Greatest corner in the NFL.
You look like horseradish sauce right now. That's the one sauce that sucks. Ketchup. Ketchup is good. You go be good. Go be ketchup.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Saturday, September 28th, the Barn at Paint Fork presents the Artemis Pyle Band. Advanced ticket and VIP party deck experience tickets available at barnpf.com. Come experience the legendary Artemis Pyle Band. The Barn at Paint Fork, located just 18 miles north of Charlotte Street exit in Asheville. For tickets and directions, check out barnpf.com.
We're just days away from our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
The biggest headliners in live music will be taking over T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas.
Plus, some special surprises and moments you are not going to want to miss.
Stream only on Hulu this Friday and Saturday, starting at 10:30 p.m.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Did you know you can now use your body's own healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get real lasting pain relief? I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. If you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder, this is something you need to check out. Everybody's talking about regenerative medicine, and the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. People here rave about the results. You can enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to to doing the stuff you love without pain and without drugs or surgery or downtime. Under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients, and the consultation is totally free. So call now. Take action to get lasting joint pain relief with help from QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dale's available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your denim. Though, we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
The Sportsocracy.
You are a regular nuclear meltdown. You better cool off.
Always taking shots at the horseradish, Jeremy.
Horseradish is awful.
I mean, and ketchup, that's your high-level sauce?
Ketchup is awesome sauce.
Okay. It's not, I mean, it's not awesome sauce.
Oh, you can mix it with mustard, and you got fancy sauce, and that goes on all things.
Okay.
Especially if it's cow things.
You said mayonnaise wrong, but that's okay.
Mayonnaise is fine if you have tomato. Outside of, if it ain't got tomato, you can take that mayonnaise
and get it. You do ketchup. You mix the mayonnaise and the ketchup together. That's awesome sauce.
Not juiced tomato. I need actual sliced.
You need actual sliced tomato with your mayonnaise.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, A1 sauce also great.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good sauces. You know what? None of them are Dijon mustard or horseradish. You take your fancy ass somewhere else and bring me some ketchup.
And some regular French's mustard. Want some of that yeller stuff, it turns my fingers yeller.
Yes, I want poor mustard now.
Anyhow, let's go top 10 of the NFL power rankings for week 3 at number 10.
I don't want to do it.
Fire them cannons, by golly, put more powder in those things. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the top 10. I never thought I'd see the day where Jeremy could finally bring himself to rank them this high.
No, it's not that I didn't have a choice because so many other teams have been so bad that your bad is better than their bad.
Yes, our bad is better than their bad, and our bad was good enough to beat the Detroit Lions this past week up in Motor City.
Yeah, let me just – I want to make this perfectly clear to all Buccaneer fans. And some of you, like, Tank he's insufferable and he gets on my nerves, but he's more realistic than most. I think Ronnie George is probably the most level-headed Buccaneer fan I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
For some reason, your fan base recruits some of the kookiest people. I read every message in a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan group as Alex Jones. Baker Mayfield's going to lead us to the promised land, and it's all going to happen with Mike Evans, and it's happening with Todd Bowles this year. Yeah, you're nuts.
Wait, where is Tampa located?
Florida.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That Central Florida.
Oh, yeah,
that's where they all live.
That's where crazy people go to die.
Exactly.
It's Florida. Crazy people go to Florida to
Precisely. Die. It's the heat down there. It's all of the beautiful ladies and the Cuban cigars. in Ybor City. It's just something just drives you crazy that when you get a little taste of power and you think, yeah, we're awesome. And you can't dial it back and go, this team just had 200 total yards of offense.
Yep.
And got a win, granted, against a very good team that we all think is going to be awesome. But they stepped on their own many times in that game. Dan Campbell cannot help himself. He has to try to go for it.
Well, I mean, you buried the lead. Yes, you only had 216 yards. You also gave up 463 yards. This was not good.
That bend don't break. Right? Bend don't break defense.
I hate that term so much. It makes me want to. It makes me want to set things on fire.
It's the Todd Bowles way.
Yeah, that was our goal. Our intention was to let them march up and down the field on us regularly, and then stiffen up at the 15-yard line.
Just don't let them in the end zone.
If that's actually your plan, you are dumber of a coach than I thought you were, and you were my coach for a while.
It's not the plan. It just seems to be how it goes sometimes, and this week was one of those games.
Next time I see a team actually win that way, maybe I'll bend on that. But I think I'm broken because that's stupid, and your defense is awful. I have never seen a quarterback get more credit for being good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because people want him to be. Okay, I almost phrased that wrong. There is a certain group of fans that want him to be good so badly, and I don't know why. I have a theory as to why, and it's because he looks like them. Look, he's a little pudgy and short and unathletic, and that's our guy, because I could beat. No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't, because there's a C.J. Stroud around the corner that's going to punch you directly in the jejunum.
I believe I'm on point on this. Baker Mayfield is what those fans wanted Tim Tebow to be. And it's probably the same fan base now because it's that Central Florida group. They wanted Tim Tebow with his rugged gamer, just he's up in your face, and he go get it, right? He gets onto the field and he gives you a little level of excitement, right?
Yeah,
and I think there's a lot of that in Baker Mayfield.
I don't.
Really?
Because Tim Tebow was religious and good-looking, two things that, to this point, I don't think Baker Mayfield is. He looks like the serial killer from You. And
wow. Okay.
He does. You'll never unsee it. I don't know that kid's name, but that's what he and Baker Mayfield, I think, are the same person. I don't get it. I'll never get it.
To me, they're the exact same person.
I will.
It's the same person. It's the same character.
It's not, because Baker is not the wholesome guy next door. That's what people liked about Tim Tebow. He was super religious. He was super open about it. That was who you wanted to marry your daughter. I don't know what it is with Baker Mayfield. I can't figure that out.
He's a gamer.
Because for me, he's the one that I just want to flick in the forehead. Like, God, you're annoying. I would just go away.
He is annoying, but then when he comes up and wins games like this, he becomes our annoying guy.
It's fine. Have you looked at your schedule moving forward?
Mm-hmm.
This ain't going to last for long.
It's all right. We got one more week of this.
Yeah, you get to beat the sin out of the Broncos. Then you go Eagles, Falcons, Saints, Ravens, Falcons, Chiefs, 49ers in 7 straight weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Take luck with that, because that's several really good offenses that are going to mush your face, and I'm going to enjoy every second of it.
At number 9.
I got so distracted.
Yeah, you just forgot it.
I completely forgot I had to say another team. The Green Bay Packers. Look, Jordan Love is healthy enough that they didn't put him on IR.
Mm-hmm.
You survived one game with Malik Willis. Apparently, Matt LaFleur learned, hey, I can't let a running back. I can give a running back a full complement of carries, and they won't die. They will not burst into flames. Nothing bad will happen. I think it's a really talented team that's pretty well coached. I just don't know that you have. To me, the Buccaneers and the Packers are the exact same team.
Mm-hmm.
They're built different. You have some high-end talent, and I think you have such a ceiling that it's pitiful, because I don't buy your quarterback. And so I find myself every week. It's like the Packers and Buccaneers follow each other around the board.
Right.
And I'm never going to think you're better than them.
I can see it.
I'm just not.
Really?
I name me a position where you're better than the Green Bay Packers.
Receiver.
I don't agree with you, because they have 7 of them.
Yeah, they're deeper.
We're
better.
You have 2.
Mm-hmm.
And yes,
the Jalen McMillan.
Jalen McMillan probably would not have made the Green Bay Packers. And I love I'm positive. And I love Jalen McMillan.
Okay.
I love him. And that's how deep Green Bay's receiving core is.
Okay.
And that's the only one you got, and it's the only one that's even kind of close. Because their line's better than yours, and their defense is a lot better than yours.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's the difference. I think those are the two teams that are fodder in the playoffs for the two really good teams in the NFC. And we've gotten through 2 weeks, and I've got two. There's a third one that we're going to talk about in a little bit, and they confuse me a lot, but looked really good.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400 Week 3 NFL Power Rankings. Top 8 after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wet afternoon, but I think the steadiest rainfall now tapers off to more scattered stuff in the next couple of days. Scattered showers, a few thunderstorms. I mean, there might be a pocket or two heavier rain as our low continues to spin out. 70 degrees today, tonight in the low 60s. Still that chance of some wet weather. Wednesday morning, some fog, and as we go through the day, some scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, 75. Some lingering wet weather Thursday. Friday, though, sunshine returning and a high close to 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer.
John Legend here. How do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Ask your healthcare provider and book at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you snore or you have been diagnosed with sleep apnea, then you're not breathing adequately at night, and we all need a good night's sleep. A custom oral sleep appliance is perfect for people who can't use a CPAP for their obstructive sleep apnea. And if you have that prescription for an oral appliance from your physician, you can take it to Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, and they will do the rest. If you've not yet been diagnosed with sleep apnea, and maybe you think you have it, then Dr. Merrill is happy to help you out with a free sleep apnea screening. Find out more online at AshevilleSmiles.com. World-class dental care with a hometown feel.
When you're ready to go back in the day,
y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
check out the all-new Throwbacks 101.1.
This is how we do it.
Allow me to introduce myself. Asheville's classic hip-hop and R&B. Come on.
No matter what you call your touchdowns, tutties, TDs, pay dirt, taking it to the house, you can bet on it at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and it is the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co.ft/ball. NFL Plus premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town, packaged fresh every day, and smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real, in the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Week 3 power rankings. We got 8 to go here, Jeremy.
God, it's been such a long week. I'm just so.
I know
It's
he's
almost
all
over.
tuckered out.
I mean, I am. I'm sleepy. It's about time for me to take off for the week. It's a rough life.
Yeah, that beach and the golf course is calling your name. It's going to be a rough one. I don't know how we'll survive without you, but we'll find some way.
This will be the first 5 rounds of golf I've played all year, so I am not going to be made to feel guilty about it.
Oh, I'm not trying to make you feel guilty about it. I'm just saying don't expect any sympathy.
Oh, no.
Poor baby.
Yeah, I don't want any. Yeah, I don't.
It's going to be cool. Another team down on the Week 3 NFL Power Rankings. Number 8.
I'm going to die on the Shield. I am. I'm going to die on it. The Cincinnati Bengals.
But wait a minute. They're 0-2.
I don't care. I don't care.
I've
seen them do this.
I had a text message from a Bengals fan earlier today. Should I be worried about my Bengals? No. Everything's going to be fine. Just first couple of weeks were not what you wanted, right? You wanted W's in those columns, no doubt. But I get you found a way to lose to the Chiefs, but you're not the only team that does that.
No, it's funny you said that because number 7 on the power rankings.
Mm-hmm.
The Baltimore Ravens, who are also 0-2. And I also believe in more than the 2-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. And if you don't, I'm going to need you to explain that to me really, really slow. I like metaphors. If you had a friend that had a really difficult job and had a couple bad weeks, you had another friend whose job was to put their pants on and their shoes on the right feet. Do you feel like the one that was able to accomplish his task was better than the other? Because I don't. And I look at the Ravens and the Bengals, and, look, New England's not a great offensive team. They're not even a good offensive team. They're good defensively. And you came in with a receiver that hadn't practiced, missing another one, and you got beat. They ran it down your throat. You were better this week. The officials came in with a flag that I didn't love.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I didn't think it was pass interference, because it wasn't called that way. I just want you to do it consistently. Whatever it is in the first quarter, that's what it is in the fourth quarter. That's all I ask. I don't even really care what that is. Consistent.
Mm-hmm.
You took Kansas City to the wall and in their stadium, and that's impressive. And I think Cincinnati's going to keep getting better. I think Baltimore's going to keep getting better. And I can't find that many teams that I believe in more than those two. Can you?
No, I can't. 0-2 starts suck. We get it. But things happen in this league, and they both have that one game against Kansas City, who we all believe in. If you don't by now, then you're just trying not to. And then they have that other game and goes, which one of those was worse? Which one of the losses was worse? Rather than try to figure that out, we'll just put them right here together.
Yep. Because I still think they're 2 of the 4 best teams in the AFC.
Now we get to number 6.
The New Orleans Saints.
Are you sure?
Tell me.
I mean, I get it. I get
Listen, Buck Homer, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to let you talk yourself in circles of how they don't deserve to be here.
I'm not saying they don't deserve to be here. I'm saying, are you sure that they're this good? Or is this week's Los Angeles Rams, who we think they're good, to put a product on the field that goes, okay, that's going to be real tough. Now, they've done it back-to-back weeks where obviously the Rams did not, and all the, we've got some evidence here.
Well, we had the Rams higher, and you keep using that. That's a team that was literally crippled. I think by the end of it, they were playing assistant coaches.
Sure. The last 2 weeks, the New Orleans Saints have dominated their opponents. I can only play the teams that you put in front of me.
Yep.
I killed the Panthers.
Yep.
And then I killed the Cowboys.
Yep.
Which I said yesterday, that's not like a top of the league, bottom of the league scenario, but it is a climbing up the ladder scenario. So let's see what they do this week.
Name me a team in the NFL that's been more impressive through 2 weeks than the New Orleans Saints.
Can't.
That's because there's not one.
Can't.
That was a trick question.
I would say Minnesota's probably next, but that's just based on where I thought they were going to be as to compared to what they are now.
Minnesota's pretty high, and Minnesota has a better win. They also have a win over the New York Giants.
Mm-hmm.
They had a win over San Francisco that Deebo Samuel got hurt in that Christian McCaffrey wasn't playing. So, okay. I'm Sammy D, MVP, but New Orleans is the more impressive of the two.
Yes.
And, I said it last week. You do it again against a competent team, and we're going to have to talk. Offensively, they are really good. And I didn't expect that. They've got the talent defensively. I never had a fear of that. Am I ready to say they're the 6th best team in the NFL? No. But you're getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the New Orleans Saints the same way I look at the next team on the list.
Number 5.
The Buffalo Bills. Does it make a lot of sense? No. But I've seen it twice. And when I've seen it twice, okay, now we're getting into that was not a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a team came in ill-prepared to play. You beat a bad team. The Buffalo Bills won a game in week 1 that they should not have won.
That's what good teams do.
Because Josh Allen was special.
Mm-hmm.
In week 2, they won a game where they physically manhandled the Miami Dolphins for 4 quarters. Tua, no Tua, didn't matter. That's where I think a lot of people got lost with Miami is you were getting embarrassed before he got hurt.
Yes.
Yeah, your offense was Carolina Pantherian with Skylar Thompson. It wasn't good with Tua.
I went into this week and I said that the Dolphins-Bills game was going to tell me one thing, which one of these teams is good. And that got answered quickly. You saw the Buffalo Bills were in control of the game, and then it didn't stop after that. Mm-hmm. The injury was terrible. Nobody wants to see that happen, but they were bad before that.
Yep.
So Buffalo Bills being at 5, it's a bit of a shocker to me because I didn't think they'd be this good.
I didn't either.
But
I didn't either, and you still haven't figured out how to throw. Mm-hmm. If at some point a receiver actually separates themselves and shows that they can be the consistent downfield threat, Buffalo will get better.
Yeah.
And that's kind of hard to wrap your brain around.
Just wish I hadn't listened to that Keon Coleman suggestion you made.
Just give it to us.
It'll come at some point.
RELAS.
Let's go number 4.
The San Francisco 49ers. This is assuming full health. And I'm starting to get worried that we're not going to see full health.
You may not.
Already lost Debo. You've already lost Christian McCaffrey. That's a bad sign. And Brandon Ayuk has been irrelevant. That's a bad sign.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad sign.
Aren't you glad you paid him?
Yeah. San Francisco fan groups. Real fun. It's always humorous.
Yeah, absolutely. But San Francisco, fully healthy. You still believe in this team, but what happened this past week with the Minnesota Vikings?
Well, you have your 2 best playmakers are gone. It changes the offense. It just does. And you still had a shot to win.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that would worry me more, your defense is not all that impressive.
That's the part.
The Jets, in the little period of time they had the ball, they were pretty good against you offensively.
That's the part I'm concerned about.
Minnesota, they were pretty impressive. Now, it was really one big play and a lot of just keeping the ball out of your hands. But, San Francisco at full health is one of the best teams in the league. Until I know you're not going to be fully healthy, I have to treat it like you will one day again be.
Mm-hmm. 7 of 12 on third downs. That's what Minnesota was this past week.
That's not bad.
You got to be better than that as a defense.
No doubt.
You got to get them off the field. Some great teams have bad games. And especially when you're already down with injuries, sometimes things like this happen.
I want to address a comment in our YouTube chat. Andy Sawmiller, the constant Cincinnati and Baltimore apologist. Well, Baltimore keeps making the playoffs, and Cincinnati, when Joe Burrow's been healthy, has consistently made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I not be an apologist for them? Yeah, there are certain teams that I give the benefit of the doubt to. This is what I railed on Tank for yesterday. He was doing it with Philadelphia. That ain't one of them. Not with Nick Sirianni, it's not. But, yeah, there are a handful of teams that I give the benefit of the doubt. Kansas City, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati, Baltimore, San Francisco. At this point, Buffalo. Is Buffalo a top 5 talented roster in the league? Oh, good God, no. They've looked like a top 5 team in the NFL.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, that gets more benefit of the doubt than, I just so happen to know he's a Steelers fan, so a team that hasn't consistently been able to move the ball since, I don't know, the Obama administration.
Has it really been that long?
When was the last time they had a really good offense? It was at least 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I know 16.
It's been a while.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's called hyperbole.
Okay. All right.
But, that's why, if you're wondering, that's why. Certain teams just have earned the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's too early to abandon ship.
No doubt.
On teams like that.
Is there any team that you thought was good coming into this year that you're ready to just go, nope, they suck? Because I got one, but their quarterback's also.
Man, that's the one I was thinking
Miami
of.
Dolphins?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. That's the only one. And if it wasn't for Tua, if somehow the gods told me Tua Tagovailoa will be back in 2 weeks, cool, Miami's off that list. Because I don't overreact to things.
Mm-hmm. And the LA Rams. But that's an injury thing as well.
Yep.
So.
If your team's just killed injury-wise,
yeah,
then yeah. The only teams I've really vehemently changed my opinion on are the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Everybody else, it's at least correctable from what I thought it was if it's been bad, and it could be a fluke if it's been good.
Now let's go to number 3. Team that picked up the big L this week.
The Detroit Lions. You beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to death, and you beat yourself because you could not stop kicking field goals.
Mm-hmm. And that goes all to coaching. Like, I love the aggressive nature. Love it. But at some point, you got to pick and choose the right spots.
Well, you keep saying aggressive. Some of this wasn't aggressive. Some of it was just absolutely awful execution. The 13 men on the field. That is terrible execution. And it has always bothered me that Dan Campbell does that so much. It really bothers me that he has 2 future NFL head coaches on his staff, and he still does it. I don't know what to do with that. There were some things that were kind of disconcerting about Jared Goff. But even with that, the defense is 10 times better than what I saw last year. Defense did everything to win this game. The offense couldn't punch it in the end zone, in the red zone. Mm-hmm. You had one of the worst red zone games I've ever seen in my life, and you still had a chance to win. That's hard to comprehend.
Yep.
And they still deserve to be here at number 3. In the YouTube comments, Stephen Tao said, I'm overreacting to Sam Darnold after 2 games. No, you underreacted for 7 years. I've been here.
He's not giving this up.
I've been present and accounted for here for a long time. I remember Sammy D's first game. I cried. Mm-hmm. I was hammered, but I cried.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Lions 407-6. And I think that was the last time I was happy as a Jets fan.
Could have been.
And I will always have Sammy D and me will always share that.
You are overreacting to Sammy D, but he's been awesome. So he deserves to be celebrated for the first 2 weeks of the season.
Sammy D for MVP. Let's
go.
Yeah. We'll get bumper stickers back.
Again, I just feel like that's all coming back. It's like the Derek Carr thing. Like, that's going to come back to the mean at some point. He's not going to keep having a 96.6 QBR or whatever the hell he's got right now. Do you think that's sustainable by Derek Carr?
I think Derek Carr and Sam Darnold are both sustainable. Because they're both talented guys that have been in god-awful situations.
And now you think they found the promised land.
Well, I think they found a situation that works.
Okay.
And the league hasn't figured it out yet. Am I telling you they're not going to figure it out? No. Do I think they're going to turn into a pumpkin? No. It is. All right, I got to go on a little tangent here. We got 2 more teams to do, and for once, for the first time in the history of the show, we're actually ahead of schedule. It is so funny to me how fickle fans are when you see a guy that was super talented in college, he was a high-end prospect, as Derek Carr and Sam Darnold both were. They come to the league. One of them played for Adam Gase. The other played for the Raiders, who I think had 11 coaches. His high water mark was John Gruden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that plays in. It just does. If you think Pat Mahomes could have gone to the Jets instead of Andy Reid and still been Pat Mahomes, I got a bridge to sell you.
Clint Kubiak's better than John Gruden.
In 2024? Yeah. John Gruden hasn't been a relevant name in football in 20 years. And his system is kind of antiquated.
Okay.
I like Gruden as coach. Might be kind of a less than ideal person, but Clint Kubiak's put in a system that works. He's a smart young guy that probably will be a head coach at some point in this league. And he's another one that's bounced around the league a little bit because he just never found footing. And weird, he spent 1 year with Mike Shanahan. He comes out here to New Orleans, and all of a sudden, that is the best offense in the league through 2 weeks.
Right.
It's not a happenstance.
Okay.
It's just like any other job. Sometimes you do get better at it with better teaching.
That you do. That's just, do you go from being okay to being number one in the league?
I never said he was the best quarterback in the league.
No, but he is right now. That's what I'm saying.
You're worried
this is
too much about statistical anomalies.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. No, there's never been a quarterback in the history of ever that is a 96 QBR quarterback. Do I think Derek Carr can live at high 60s, low 70s? Yeah, I do. In this offense, in this pick and pop system with two receivers that can just scream by you, yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think the same thing with Sam Darnold. I'm throwing the best receiver in the world. I got one of the best tight ends in the world. I got a high-end running back. I got a good offensive line. I got apparently a pretty good coach. Oh, and I got another one that's coming back in a couple of weeks in Jordan Addison. Yeah, I think a guy that was my number one quarterback in a draft can continue to look like a competent to good to maybe even really good NFL quarterback. Here's what I'll never understand. People fall for this out of Baker Mayfield, but you can't buy it out of Sam Darnold. Do you realize how stupid that is? There was one team in the NFL that rated Baker ahead of Sam. They then wound up on the same team. That same team said that was not the same team that took him on. They said Sam was better than him. But you'll fall for it out of Baker Mayfield, like herding sheep to his slaughterhouse. But Sam Darnold, it can't possibly be. I'll never get that if I live to be 200 years old. I'll never understand it. One of them, met them both. One of them infinitely more likable than the other. Not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of you that's a Baker apologist would hate him if you met him. If you don't believe me, ask people around the Carolina Panthers. They'll tell you the same damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little rant. We were a little ahead of time, and I've been wanting to say it for 2 days, so there you go.
All right, number 2 in the Week 3 power rankings.
The Houston Texans. 1 and 2 aren't debatable to me.
No.
Because 1...
Number 1?
The Kansas City Chiefs. You got 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think you have really opportunistic defenses. And until somebody beats you, it's going to be hard for me to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Houston.
Have you been impressed with anything that Houston's done this year, though? Because I've watched both of their games, and I went, I don't know that this doesn't look like a number 2 team in the league.
You're worried way too much. This is a college football mindset, and fans do this a lot. You're worried about how pretty it looked. Oh, y'all beat the Bears by a score. Do you know what percentage of NFL games end in a 1-score game? There's a reason the lines stay under 7, no matter how bad the team on the other side is. Yeah, sorry, in the NFL, we don't tend to beat teams 41-3.
Sure.
You don't get Kent State. So I look at a Houston Texans team that just added a brand new pass rusher, reshuffled the deck in their linebacking core, added a new, very difficult to implement number 1 or number 2 receiver. He's the 2 behind Nico. Brought back Tank Dell and added Joe Mixon. And, yeah, maybe it's a little clunky. It's also, when it's firing, absolutely terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I do believe it. I believe your quarterback's that good. He's looked that good through 2 weeks. That was my biggest question with Houston. How does he deal with success? How does he deal with an offseason where teams have had tape to watch of him? He's been fine. You beat a really good NFL defense. They couldn't score. That's impressive. Okay. I don't need you to come out and hang 40 on somebody to be impressive.
I didn't say you had to hang 40.
No.
I didn't see much from that game that went, yeah, this is it. This makes me feel like this is going somewhere.
All right, so what are you looking for? So, I mean, and that's a legitimate question. What did you want them to do?
I don't really have an answer for that.
Well, I mean, you had a quarterback that came out, and let me verify this before I say it.
Yeah.
Threw for 260 yards, had a pretty solid QBR, didn't turn the ball over. You couldn't run to save your life because Joe Mixon got hurt early.
Mm-hmm.
What did you want here? Nico Collins got anything he wanted against Jalen Johnson.
He did.
Yeah, that's about all I needed.
Okay.
I need one of these guys to hit every week. And I've got so many of them that I got a lot of choices.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Teams aren't going to regularly score a lot of points against the Bears. That defense is good. The offense is horrifically bad.
And, of course, you got the Kansas City Chiefs at the top as they continue to find ways to win games because that's what champions do. And they don't have to have everybody to do it, apparently, because Travis Kelce forgot the season started.
That's what would scare me if I was another team in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelce's been irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. And it's not going to last forever.
I'm glad you're confident in that because I'm not.
Really? You think he's washed?
When tight ends fall off the cliff, they fall off the cliff hard. And he does not look good. He looks slow. He looks clunky. And he's virtually never open. It's 2 games. And it was 2 games against 2 pretty good teams because you played Baltimore, you played Cincinnati.
Yep.
I see a 36-year-old tight end. That's what I see. I mean, do you remember how it ended with Tony Gonzalez?
Yeah.
He was one of the most freak athletes in the history of the NFL and probably the biggest freak in the history of that position. And by the end, he couldn't separate. And that's what I see out of Travis Kelce. I see a guy that looks like he runs about a 5.140 right now. And he's big and aggressive and he's smart and he knows how to play the position, but he can't separate.
No.
And that would worry me. I also see Rashee Rice, who is a dog. And that helps.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Jeremy off for the rest of the week. He'll be heading down to the beach tomorrow. We'll be touching in with him on Friday. We'll have a special guest host tomorrow in the studio with me, Chris Womack, news director of News 13, the sports director at News 13, will be joining me in the studio tomorrow. We'll be off on Thursday for Braves baseball, and then back for a football Friday after that. We'll see you tomorrow at noon.
People are talking about Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt. Just check out some of their Google reviews. One user writes, I'd been avoiding visiting the dentist for years due to poor experiences in the past. I had quite a few visits and procedures at Summit in the last year, and each and every one was made comfortable by the staff that work there. They're all kind and compassionate and take extra time to make sure your comfort level is right where it should be. Summit Dental in Asheville. Call them today, 828-277-6868 or online at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
Wednesday, October 30th, the Orange Peel presents Cold War Kids. Get your tickets now online at theorangepeel.net. Don't miss Cold War Kids live October 30th. See you at the Peel.
Save big with Young Ace Hardware's 20th anniversary sale, September 21st and 22nd only. The first 500 customers get a free Ace 5-gallon bucket, plus 20% off almost everything that fits inside. Come by and enter to win a paint-a-room makeover and an Ego Power Plus handheld leaf blower kit. Young Ace Hardware has been a local business offering the best brands for 20 years. Don't miss these great deals and more at all 5 Young Ace Hardware locations. Going to big box retailers for batteries? Flag on the play. Locally owned Rainy Battery has the lowest prices on all your battery needs. Don't fumble when you can find everything from watch batteries to batteries for cars, RVs, trucks, golf carts, and more at Rainy Battery. Get brands you know and trust like AC Delco, Motorcraft for the lowest prices, plus custom battery cables made in-house. Go to rainybattery.com or stop in today for a quote. That's rainybattery.com.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dale's available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your denim. Though we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wet afternoon, but I think the steadiest rainfall now tapers off to more scattered stuff in the next couple of days. Scattered showers, a few thunderstorms. I mean, there might be a pocket or two heavier rain as our low continues to spin out. 70 degrees today, tonight in the low 60s. Still that chance of some wet weather. Wednesday morning, some fog, and as we go through the day, some scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, 75. Some lingering wet weather Thursday. Friday, though, sunshine returning and a high close to 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
This is an election year like no other.
So we're bringing you election coverage like nobody else.
In-depth coverage of all the key races.
On News Radio 570 WWNC.
Western North Carolina's election station.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart.